Hello out there in podcast land. Welcome to Beer League in the Get Off My Lawn studios here. I just want to say hello to everybody. Hey, Greg.
What's going on here? How's everybody doing?
Very good, very good. I think we got a really cool guest here today.
Yeah, we're just stacking them up here back to back, man. People haven't even had time to listen to the last one, and we're on to...
You know what? We're doing good, that means. People want to get on the show. We want to listen to us. And come on, when's the next one I hear all the time?
Yeah,
you get that a lot, too?
I do.
I do. I get,
but you've been getting a lot of flack on TikTok for some of your takes here.
You know what?
Tick takes.
Listen, I'm still standing by every one of these perfect game tournaments for baseball, and you got these rants about Patrick Mahomes. Okay, listen, I'm still standing by it. This Patrick Mahomes junk, that's for sure. I don't really like last night's game. I watched a little bit.
Oh boy,
the fictitious flags come out because there's no way in hell that the Chiefs will go 2-4. Sorry, Mike, if you're out there listening, you big Chiefs fan, and also Danikin out there. You know you are out
Danikin.
There, and also Mr. Poles. Mr. Poles is a big Chiefs fan.
Won't even shake his hand. Right? He turns into a brawl if you don't shake His Highness's hand.
Yeah, well, he kind of Mr. Poles snuck on me on this weekend. He came up, he was all quiet, and he tried to get me, but he didn't get me.
You didn't even shake. You just kept on walking and punched the next guy you saw.
I was gonna, but I like him, so he's a friend of mine. So.
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
Well, we got another good guy here. This is Noah Linsky.
Noah,
everybody.
Get the claps. Hello, Noah.
Right.
All around. Hey, Noah. So, hey, thanks so much, man, for coming on the show here.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Appreciate your time. Everyone loves the time, that's for sure. But thank you very much. And Greg knows Noah very well too. So that's
it's funny. Noah and I worked together, and I guess about a year and a half, 2 years ago, interviewed the guy. He was a good guy. He was up at Michigan State. He was doing some Michigan stuff. He went on a hockey journey that we'll talk about, but I talked to him on the Zoom. It was one of those Zoom interviews.
Okay.
And,
was he wearing that shirt?
He was not. He was not.
I want to make sure he was wearing that shirt because I would have said yes.
He saved that for later, but we were actually walking around outside of the Predators game, and it was a playoff game. I think it was game 3, playing the Vancouver Canucks. And I'm just out there with the boys, getting ready to go crush some Canadian skulls, and then all of a sudden I hear, Mr. Fuller. I'm like, uh-oh. Whenever somebody calls me Mr. Fuller, I'm like,
where's my dad?
What did I do?
Where's my dad?
What are they accusing me of? But it was Noah on the street with his girlfriend who was wearing a Vancouver Canuck jersey, and immediately I was like, what's going on here? He had the Preds decked out, and she, was a house divided, and I was like, well, I don't know, must have been a sign. But that game did not turn out the way that we wanted to. We were winning until the last 10 seconds, 15 seconds, and I was that guy. I was like, I'm going to film the victory. Yeah. And right as I was doing that, we hit the post, and then it came back around, and they scored and tied it with 4 seconds left. I was like, oh, my God. And we go to overtime and lose.
Yeah.
And we've sucked ever since.
Is that a playoff game? That was a playoff game?
It was a playoff game.
That was when the Preds played the Canucks. Okay. And I was living up in Detroit at the time. I was just graduated from Michigan State Law School. First job I got was doing no-fault insurance defense in Detroit, where the auto industry is huge.
Yeah.
Right? So, we're working. It's winter is still in full swing there, right? So playoffs have just started. My parents, they've had season tickets since I was a kid. Okay. And I go, do you have any tickets to the game? I'll drive 9 hours down there to go to a game right now.
Very nice.
And my parents were like, yeah, we have tickets. So I had just finished interviewing with Greg's firm here, and I saw him walking, and I look at my girlfriend. I go, hey, should I bump him and say hi? I think that's Mr. Fuller over there. And she's like, you probably should. He might. Did he like you? I'm like, I think he did. We talked about hockey at the interview, and so then I bump him, and he kind of it's like, I think I know who you are. I think I recognize
get the glazed look in your eye,
and I'm like, oh God, he didn't remember me. He didn't like me. I'm not gonna get this job, So yeah. Then after that, He hit me
Then
up
I
with an
felt
email
good
and-
about him.
Yeah.
But then we lost the game, and I was back on the fence. I was like,
Well, I mean, I am. First of all, I don't think anyone knows how much I'm not a Predator fan.
I didn't know you. Did you rent that?
Listen, I got a lot of Predator jerseys. Listen, because when I first moved, this jersey I got before I moved to here. This jersey I was wearing during my going away party out in Long Island when we came here. So we were out in a bar, and I was wearing this jersey. So anyone out there remembers this jersey at the bar I was wearing. I like this jersey. Like you said earlier, this jersey's my favorite. The Gouldens mustard, not the French's mustard. The Gouldens mustard is one of my favorite jerseys, and it's a very cool emblem here. The three-dimensional. I like that. That is always really, really sharp right there. But I also have a couple other jerseys before I even moved here too. I have a lot of jerseys.
I feel like this is some chamber that you have with. It's like Darth Vader, and you've got nothing but jerseys. You know how they're on the little machine that goes around, and you just wake up each day and you're like, which jersey? I don't know where you keep all these things.
I keep them all in the closet, man. I keep everything in the closet. Nothing comes out until I have to pull it out. That's for sure.
Okay.
But I'm going to tell you, this jersey, and the reason why, too, I'm wearing it is wearing it for you. Because you are a huge Preds fan, and I'm wearing it for you. I'm not trolling you yet. So, I mean...
You did it out of respect.
I did a respect. You got to respect out of there. But this jersey here was for you and one of my other favorite all-time hockey players, Shea Weber. And then ever since he left, that's when it all went downhill for me. That's for sure. So we're not going to get into that's another rant later on. But anyway, welcome, Noah, to the show, man. I appreciate you showing up, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it.
All right, Noah. So I know, again, this show is always about beer league, regardless. What level you played? Hockey, football, baseball. I hope you didn't play football and come to a beer league football game because you're going to be walking around and crutches, because that's crazy to play beer league.
Straight to coaching.
Yeah, exactly. Go right to coaching. But beer league baseball, softball, or beer league men's league baseball they have out there now, or beer league basketball, or now tennis, but now it's called pickleball.
Did they drink beer at basketball pickup games?
Absolutely, they do. Huh. They sweat it out, but they skins versus shirts, and you got somebody sweaty chest on you throwing threes.
Yeah, I'm not going to that.
That's disgusting. Anyway. Let's get back to us here. But yes, thank you so much for coming to Beer League. And this is exactly what it's about. Your path, how you've gotten to where you're from to here now. We're very interested to hearing how you've made it to where you are right now and prior, and how you got to that level. So Noah, thank you again, and take it away, my man.
Yeah. Thanks again for having me. Really appreciate being here. I guess I'll start it out by, saying I was born and raised here. I grew up playing youth hockey in Nashville. I played Flyers when I was younger. I played on the first ever U14 Junior Preds team. Then kind of played Junior Preds growing up, and then played high school hockey at Brentwood High School.
All right.
Took one gap year. I played in the NA3HL.
Okay.
Played juniors for 1 year. Then I went to play club at Miami of Ohio, where I played ACHA D2.
Okay.
And from there, played 4 years there. Very competitive club team, which is surprising because club hockey has gotten very, very good recently.
Oh, right? Yeah.
The ACHA is growing crazy, and they play NCAA teams sometimes, and that's a whole other story as well. But after that, played 4 years at Miami, and then I went to law school at Michigan State.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Well, our last guest was on the show. He played club hockey, and he says they were crushing everybody because, the other coach brought in some of his players, and they're like, I'm out. We're gone, and they end up smoking teams like that. But yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. But when you play in these teams too, and well, tell me more about your experiences here in club hockey and how that all went and what your decision making of going there.
Yeah, so my decision to play at Miami was actually purely a academic decision. I wanted to go to Miami because they had a really good track record of getting people into law school, right? That was kind of the goal from the get-go.
You mean you weren't going to go to pros in hockey?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if I didn't go to the NHL, I was going to go to Miami of Ohio and play club, right? I mean, those are the two options.
I think so.
But yeah, so I had a really serious injury when I was 17, where I ended up getting hit on my neck and busting my carotid artery open.
Oh my God.
And I had six strokes and a bunch of mini strokes, and that's a long story. I'll gladly tell the whole story.
We want to get
shortly.
into that. That's for sure. This is before neck guards too.
Yeah,
then.
Yeah.
Wow.
But when I was going to play juniors, my parents said you have to be committed to a college first for academics, right? We don't want you playing 3-4 years of juniors with your crazy neck injury. You get 1 year and then you're going to college. And I was like, okay, that's fair, you know? So that's kind of why I ended up at Miami, is just because of academics, right? The club team being sick was kind of just a consequence of being a hockey school, right? They've got the D1 program, 17,000 kids. I think 200 kids try out a year for the club team.
Wow, 200.
Yeah. It's intense.
And you get to play in that awesome arena they got up there.
Yep, we play in Goggin.
Yeah.
We have our own locker room, or we had our own locker room until COVID hit, I believe.
Okay.
I think after COVID hit, they did something with the rink where now the club team has to rent one of the public rooms. But when I was there, we had a locker room the entire time.
Wow.
So we got to keep our gear at the rink. We got to, do all that. And that was probably one of the biggest draw of playing club hockey at Miami, was you don't have to put your stuff in your dorm room.
Oh, and it stinks. You don't need the dorm room. In the small, you got your roommate. You're like, dude, your stuff stinks. Get it out of here.
And the old dorms don't have AC.
Oh.
So that is just festering underneath your bed.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So we had our own locker room. We had all of our travel was paid for. All of our expenses were paid for. We had two practices, a special workout every week, like trainers on site. Like, it was good. It was a really, really well-funded program. I know every year we get to fly to Florida Gulf Coast, where we all get to take the plane, go to Florida Gulf Coast over Christmas. So it's warm in Florida, and we play them for a couple games, and we play in their ECHL rink. So it's pretty exciting. And then my freshman year, we came in third in the country. We lost to NYU in the national semifinals.
NYU.
Yep. Yep. They went D1 next year after that, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
And they were good. And then...
well, they were the Sharks then, right? Were the NYU Sharks?
I think... Well, Long Island
Long
is
Island,
the Sharks.
the Sharks, okay.
My goalie from my NA3 team played for them.
Let me guess. Perone.
Yep. He's a good dude.
Yeah. Well, I graduated with his dad, Mike.
Oh, really?
Yep. I actually wrote it down because he was with the Brahmas and he was on with the Titans.
Yeah. Literally, I was thinking
Small world.
Yeah, that's so insane.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of Long Island guys there, like Brian Whalen.
No, I don't know him.
Zach Anderson.
Well, I'm a little older, so I'm 53. I apologize. And then when you start talking, when you're like, I played with his son, you're like, oh boy, Mikey out there. Wow, it's so funny. Yeah, because I was like thinking about that. And I'm like, I wrote it down too.
Yeah.
So you knew Perone.
Yeah.
He was an excellent goalie.
Very, very, very good goalie.
Yeah.
I was a couple years older than him, but even when I was a plug.
Yeah.
In juniors, like I was a grinder. I had the A on my chest, right? But that's just because I was a stickler for the rules and I showed up on time, But yeah, I mean, he was so good. I could never score on him in practice, and he's super, super, super good.
Well, I know Mike. I haven't really talked to Mike that much. Again, I'm up here now. I mean, down here in Nashville. But that is hilarious, though.
Yeah.
I still see him on Facebook. I'll text him once in a while. But yeah, his son, he always put pictures of his son playing on the Brahmas. I remember he was on the Brahmas, and he went to the Titans, and then he went to NY. I guess it used to be CW Post. Now it's.
I think it's Long Island University. Yeah.
That is
really,
so funny.
Really sick pads. The little baby blue.
Yeah, the baby
color.
blue and the yellow. Sorry, guys. This is very weird that we just.
I'm glad you guys are having this moment.
Yeah, we are. You know what, Greg? You stay over there.
Let's move on now.
No, we're going to get back to a little bonding here again. No, but anyway, go ahead.
Yeah.
So good.
So, played in the NA3, and then my senior year, I graduated in 2020. So my senior year, our season got cut short, but we had just made nationals again that season when our season got cut short, and that was kind of the end of my college career, right?
Okay.
And, like my dad and everybody always says, all roads lead to men's league. My dad played
men's league or?
Beer league.
Beer league. There we go. All right, that's correct.
Yep. My dad played on an adult league, beer league team with Dirk Bentley and Stu Grimson.
Okay.
Right? So, all walks of life.
Yeah.
And you play with your dad pretty frequently, right?
I play with my dad up until recently when I left his team because,
They were old.
They were old. They were getting in fights with me. Not the team, but like the league, right?
Uh-oh.
He was a ringer.
yeah, so-
He's a ringer. I know
You
you
kind
guys
of
like him come in. He scores all the goals, and they're like, "Hey, he's too good. Get him out of here."
I don't know if it's the goal scoring that got you.
Yeah, no, it was not the goal scoring that got me. You know, it was absolutely this like
misunderstandings
here and there. You
Yeah.
know,
You
some
take
people,
an angle. It's your ice.
It's-
Yeah,
I'm not
exactly.
stopping. You better stop. You know?
Yep. Yep. So I do play with my dad when his team needs a sub, right? And I was recently, up until maybe a few months ago, playing with my dad once a week, right? Up at Ford Bellevue.
Okay.
You know? So really good time. I just love skating. Then I
That's
got
awesome.
back into coaching, and now I coach a little single A 12U team. And I used to ref, but I do not ref anymore.
Good. No,
yeah.
no, it's a selfless job right there.
It's a selfless job. It's a thankless job.
Yeah, that's-
too.
yeah,
It's tough. But yeah, and then that's kind of just the summation of my whole hockey experience, and yeah.
When you first started, all right, when was your first year? First year out there on the ice with mites, termites,
Termites.
at Bellevue, or Ford.
No,
This was before
Centennial.
I was at
Okay,
Centennial.
that's right. Yeah,
Ford ice.
Yeah, it was the only ice rink.
that's right,
It was
it was
before
only.
Southern Ice.
So it wasn't
actually.
even. What about A game? Were you at?
But yeah, it was before A game.
Okay, because I moved
He's
here.
OG, man.
He is
This
OG.
original
Yeah.
Flyer stuff.
Nice. All right, here we go. That's great. So
Yeah.
you had there, you're skating around. That's terrific.
Yeah.
The termites with that.
It was so cool. I think I have a picture of my termite picture. I'll try and
Nice.
find it on Instagram.
Just send it to me. We'll flash it up.
Yeah,
later.
we'll flash that in there. But I know it's funny because then you had because I always liked the Flyers termites thing, and then because I moved here and I put myself in this area because A game was here. I'm like because I still played when I first moved here, but I won't play anymore. And it's great that you say that you play with your dad. That is the only thing. One more game I'll ever play is one more game. I'll put the pads on because I'm a goalie. I'll throw them on, and I'll play with my son. One game because that's it. That's what it's all about.
It's going to be a wise old goalie.
You know what? I'll still make
It's going to be
saves.
2032. Is this
Listen,
going to happen?
I'm pretty damn good still, I think.
Well, I mean,
My own head, I'm pretty good.
you got to have goals. You got to have goals.
Yeah.
I did have a buddy of mine call me the other day and goes, "Hey, we need a goalie." Then Thursday night I said, "Absolutely not, Mike. Sorry, dude. I'm done. I'm done playing." He's like, "Oh, 40 and over league." I'm like, "Sorry, buddy. Splashies."
My dad loves that league, the over 40
It was
league.
great.
Yeah.
It was great. What team was your dad on?
So I don't know what team he's on in the over 40, but we were on the NAHLs.
Okay.
At Bellevue.
You got some really good names out there. You got what some of the good names. Same with some of the teams. Like there's some really cool. The Yoggers, wasn't it? Yoggers.
Well, there's Taxi Squad in one of the leagues that I play in. There's what is it? They're sponsored by Fat Bottom Brewery, so they just call themselves Fat Bottoms.
Okay.
What are some other ones? I mean, my dad's team was the
Cannolis.
Nashville.
I know you got the Cannolis out there. Music City Flyers, I think, are another one I played on for a couple times. Again, a goalie, I'm like a merchant. You need your play to play. Go ahead and play.
The best thing that any league can do is say goalies don't pay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Honestly, that's why I play. I've been playing some tournaments. They're like, oh, $250. I'm like, I'm out. See ya.
Yeah.
Get your own goalie. We reconsidered. Yeah, so you're playing. Thank you, man. All right. So, all right. So you started with the Flyers, termites. Next year, where are you at now?
Yeah, so played basically. Well, it wasn't even Flyers. It was like Nashville NYHL house kind of thing. And then the next year I played house, and then the year after that was my second year of mites. I played Ice Tigers.
Oh wow, okay.
The Nashville Ice Tigers, which I believe was a prereq to like the reemergence of the Flyers.
Oh really?
I believe.
Wow.
I mean, we had this really cool jersey. It looked like a Predator, but it was front facing, right?
Okay.
And then it had like the hockey sticks behind it, and we weren't the Predators, but we were the Ice Tigers.
Okay.
And that was really cool. We had the same color scheme, so we kind of felt kind of sick,
Yeah.
So that was cool.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. So after that, when do you start going, all right, I'm going to really get into this even more so now, single A, double A, triple A.
Yeah.
I'm addicted.
So I was in 4th grade. Okay. And I had a coach. His name was Dan Kesmer. Dan Kesmer played for the Preds.
Yeah.
He was a fantastic skater, a very good defenseman. and he would make us do power skating before every single practice. And I kind of like figured out that, you know, I was really, 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 really small, you know, but I was a very good skater. And my biggest issue is that I was never growing. So, but being such a good skater, I tried out for the AAA team when I was in 5th grade and I got cut. Of course, that was the only travel team around. So I played house league and I dominated. And a little 5th grader goes to your head a little bit, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So then I was like, okay, now I got a little bit of confidence, you know, and this was when A game had just sprung up.
Yeah.
Right. So because I got cut from the team, I went to go play house league at A game.
Okay.
You know, I switched ranks, which was a big.
Yeah. It's still that way now.
Yeah. And then after I kind of got a little bit of confidence playing in A game house league, tried out for the Flyers again, made that team, and that was with Coach Scotty Phillips.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
So then I made that AA team, and that was the only. Like, we didn't have a AAA. It was either playing in Atlanta or playing AA Flyers. And we were good that year, which is weird to say if you're like looking at a 6th grader, you know. But we had a couple kids. I think he plays roller still, Michael Curtis. Don't know if you've heard of that name. He was, I mean, he had maybe 300 points in 1 year. Like, he was very, very, very good.
Lord. Wow.
Ended up playing prep at Culver.
Oh, he did?
Down the way. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So very good player. We had some really good guys. Of course, we were 12, so it wasn't like we were big or anything. But
at that time, it's the best thing in the world right now. So you're kicking butt, 12 years old. Let's rock.
We were. I can't believe I remember all these details, but we were 25th in the country, which was crazy. You know, for a team from Tennessee to be doing that. So we went up to Canada, played in the Silver Stick finals.
After you went to Silver Sticks.
Yeah, we won out in the regionals. Then we went up to Canada, played in the national one. And,
wow.
Yeah, so we were pretty good. And that was when I kind of was like, okay, we're going to get serious now. Like, you're playing real hockey with like real hockey players. My parents, for the first time, was like, we're going to spend more than $20 on your stick.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to get you're not going to get Chemo Tiemanen's one at the Pred sale and cut it in half and play with the equivalent of a 2x4.
Why not?
You know. So after that, it got a little more serious. Played AA Flyers. We played in the Central States League, and then
this is now 14U at this time.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And that was my first year 14U, and then my second year 14U, they started the Junior Preds program.
Okay.
And that was when I played Junior Preds.
Was the Junior Preds AAA then too, or is it still AA?
We were still technically called AA.
Okay.
But we played some AAA teams. We played in the Nike Bauer tournament that year.
Okay.
And I don't know if you ever heard of the Nike Bauer. It was in Chicago. It was like a big deal. It was weird how big of a deal it was, if I'm remembering correctly, because there were people who were like there to watch the game, and this was my first time seeing like a scout for anything. And I'm like, what is this guy doing? He's not a parent. What's he doing here?
Creepy old man. That's what he is.
Yeah. So, you know, after that year,
I want to stop 1 second. How did you take the transition from 12U to 14U and the physicality and the hitting part?
Oh, yeah.
You know, that's huge. That's a big step for a lot of kids to go to that next level. And a lot of kids, they shy away. Like the superstars, you said you were a small kid and you were a great skater. You know, a lot of times, small skaters, you know, they got to look over their shoulder every 5 seconds. So how did you deal with that?
Yeah, well, for me, it was actually 12U is where we started hitting.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, because back when I was a peewee, you started hitting in peewees, right? Not bantams. So I was... To be honest, my parents probably had no clue. You know, my dad didn't play hockey. My mom didn't play hockey. So I was the first one to kind of go through any of it in my family. So they were probably just like, oh, a little bit of body contact. He's got pads on. He's going to be fine.
Well, I guess you taught your dad to play hockey then, because now he's playing hockey. So that's great.
Well, he saw that I like loved it and I was going to play it for a while. And then he kind of was like, well, I got to learn how to skate.
That's
now.
awesome.
He was born and raised in Chicago. So he saw the Blackhawks play and all that stuff, but he never really picked up hockey, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, I never even really thought about it when I was a kid. I was
just came to you naturally. I've seen some of your hits.
Some of my hits are pretty big, but you know they got to be clean, which is the kicker.
No such thing.
But yeah, so I didn't even think about it, and I just thought it was just another part of the game, and I was really, really, really small. But my dad told me that I was built not to be run over. Yeah. Right. I'm a little dense
stocky
little guy. Yeah. So yeah, I didn't really think about it. My parents didn't really think about it. It was just another thing that we did. Okay. You know, it was just kind of weird.
Because I think nowadays kids are like, I'm going to hitting now. Oh no, I don't know. And it's kind of a, you're in 12U right now. You're coaching 12U, and then when you get to the 14U, you're like, oh my God, am I going to get crushed? Am I going to, no, just have fun, man. Go be physical anyway. Right now, you got to push the physicality in the game anyway. So that's cool. So now you go to the junior Preds. Now, how did that go? Leaving the Flyers, especially you had a whole bunch of friends there. Did they come with you? Did they not come with you? Did it,
Yeah, most of them did come to the junior Preds. The junior Preds were brand new, and it was meant to kind of be, at least what the parents were telling us, was it was supposed to be Nashville's answer to the Thunder, which was
that AAA program.
It was the Atlanta, Nashville, Huntsville, Tri-City kind of like big all-star team, right? So they wanted to make a team that was going to be, the good kids from Nashville only, And, being honest, I was probably one of the worst kids on that team.
Really?
Yeah, I was never a skilled guy, never really had great hands. But I would always, I'd work hard, and that's kind of how I made my mark, right? So we were good, very good team, but we were not a true AAA team, if I would be really honest. But yeah, there was a little bit of fallout because some of the players would, want to stay at Centennial or want to stay at A game, but most of those players were the players who weren't going to play junior Preds anyways, So it kind of went that way.
Yeah. Again, you probably wouldn't even know, but the cost your parents were dealing with. So it must have been so much of a, a wake-up call with that, too, when you go, I'm going to the Preds now. I'm like, oh, whoa.
Yeah.
I would love to know what the cost was back then compared to now.
It'd be nice to have a chart to try to adjust it for inflation, but I guarantee you it was not a fraction of what you do now.
My parents told me, when I was 16, they told me how much they spent on hockey. I feel like they did. I honestly could.
Was it a reveal? Were they mad at you? Were you?
No, they weren't.
Let me tell you something.
Well, they weren't mad because they spent way more on my siblings swimming, which was crazy. Yeah,
you don't even have equipment.
Yeah, my brother swam for Nashville Aquatic Club.
Okay.
And my sister swam for Excel in Brentwood, and they both swam Division I as well.
Oh,
so they were good swimmers. But yeah, the fees for that are exorbitant, right?
Jeez.
But I think they told me that from the time they started really tracking when I was 12 playing for the Flyers to 16, it was like $64,000.
Oh wow!
Something crazy. And that was back in.
I'm going down.
That was
pretty ridiculous.
That was from what? 2007 to 2013.
That wasn't even like. Oh, and there was more after that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot more.
That was just getting started. That's just
No
coming
wonder
to the
why you went
dance.
to law school.
Yeah.
Play your parrot back. Let's go.
And I was actually telling my girlfriend last night, I was like, I cannot imagine the sacrifices that they did to get us to practice every single day. Pay it without making me feel bad about it. My billet dad in juniors would sometimes kind of pick on his stepson, and it was if my parents did that to me, I would have been I don't think I want to play next year.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
A lot of pressure.
So
that's cool that your parents didn't do that to you.
Yeah, absolute hats off to my
Until
parents.
they told you.
Yeah, until after.
I was old enough to kind of figure it out. But yeah, no, it was, I cannot believe the sacrifices that they made.
Yeah, well, it's kind of great that your parents did that, because I know a lot of times when we my kids and our kids, we go, I was always against to say, hey, you know how much we're paying? But now when the kids are a little bit older, you can go, hey, buddy, hey, are we going to be serious about this or we're not?
Yeah, absolutely.
And you can go, hey, we're going to keep playing travel if you're serious about it. But if you're not serious about it, we can not do this. And I'm cool with that because you will play house league. We will play house league. You'll still play hockey. Don't get me wrong. We put too much invested into this time. Let's be honest. They go, oh, yeah, you're done. No, you're still playing hockey. I don't care if you dominate the house
Beer
league.
league starts now.
Yeah, exactly. Beer league starts now in house league. That's exactly how it is. But there's a time now you go, okay, bud, you got to understand. And like your parents, your father finally said to you and your parents said to you, hey, we spent this much for you. It's your chance and your turn to show us what you want to do. And that's what it is. And that was cool that your parents even gave you the ultimatum, saying, not an ultimatum, but you got 1 year. You got 1 year. You can do whatever you want during that year. And if something happens, great. Call lightning in a bottle. But you know what? If not, COVID, everything, the world went crazy. Guess what? now you're very successful. Let's be honest, and you still play beer league.
I do, yeah, for better or worse.
Exactly,
I do. Yep.
exactly.
Well, it's not just the money; it's the time.
Yeah.
I mean, there aren't many sports that you have to travel 2-3 hours. I mean, down south with your buddy Paulie, they had rinks, falling out of trees. But to play in a non-traditional market, that's a big commitment. And going to all these weekends when it's like we get to go to Huntsville. All right, that's an easy one.
Yeah. And now we're happy to go to Huntsville. It's still an hour and a half drive.
Yeah. I mean, we played again. My first year bantams, we played Central States, so we went to Indianapolis, Chicago, New Jersey, like where else is Central States? Columbus, like long trips for a 14-year-old kid, who's in middle school, So,
and the best thing is too, like when you're younger a little bit, when you go into those trips, you don't remember the second game or the third game, but you remember hanging out with your buddies in the pool or playing shinny hockey, in the hallways.
Yeah.
But when you get to that level, after a while, you go, all right, no, we're going to bed.
Yeah.
You're going to eat a salad and chicken. You have broccoli. That's you're not going to have pizza, and your parents are not going to go hang out and drink beers all the time.
It's a business trip.
It is a business trip.
Yep.
It really is.
Yep. I literally said that to the 12-year-olds, like after we got pumped in our tournament this past weekend. I was like, it's great that you guys have fun. I know we got hibachi after last game, but there's an element of this where we're here to settle business.
Yeah.
And I tried to hint at the business trip aspect of things, right?
And and that's, I guess, this is the perfect age to start that. At 12U, and my son's in 12U, his son's in 14U, and it is that point. You go, you know what, guys? Yeah, this is great and everything fun, but you know what? Now we gotta be serious here. It is a business, and we are dropping some coin on this, and we want to see a little investment. Return of investment. You know what I'm saying? You want to say, hey. Exactly. ROI. Yeah. Let's see what we got here. If there's something that happens, and if not, we can go one more year, and if you go this direction, great, terrific. But
particularly when the weekend doesn't go real well, right? When you're getting trounced 8-1, or you're getting shut out. I mean,
I was talking to a buddy of mine today, and they went up to Chicago. He goes, dude, it was miserable. He goes, we could have stayed in Nashville and got crushed like this. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? But unfortunately, this is where we have to go play hockey. You're like, yeah, we're going to Chicago. Oh, boy, we're going to Chicago. We're going to play some real quality teams. I mean, thank goodness, our kids had a tournament this weekend in Nashville. It was a high-level tournament. We played some really, really good teams. Was it successful? You know what? Our kids didn't play the right way. It was almost like back to 10U. Like, let's take the puck and skate around everybody. And you go, whoa. That's not how this is happening. The puck's faster than you.
Yep.
In the first couple tournaments and the couple friendlies that we had up, against Indianapolis, and we went up to Louisville. Our team was really good. I mean, you probably heard of our team doing pretty good. I mean, we are decent. We the way we play, the kids can score. We have some talent on our team. But this week, and it actually started last weekend down in Atlanta. The Sunday game, I was like, this is not the team that we see. Everyone's trying to be an individual, trying to take the puck all end to end and not pass and shoot it whenever and it was like,
pisses you off when you're spending all that money.
Oh, the wraparound! Oh, I tell you, wraparounds. My God, I was like, guys, you got to stop wraparound. I'm going to start swinging at parents here. I'm like, tell your kids stop wraparound. Damn it, no, it doesn't work anymore.
Yeah,
you're too slow.
Yeah.
But again, so and it kind of came back, and I guess my son said the coach was really pissed. So they had to sit down in the meeting, and then they played a great game on Saturday. I'm like, this is the team and they ended up winning. And then I guess they did okay on Sunday, but they ended up tying. So they went 1-2-1. But to me, they could have been better because the first two games on Friday, it was just they laid an egg. And you go, wait, that's not this team, because you see it. And you're like, all right, come on, but I'm happy I was in Nashville to do that. Because if I go to Chicago,
I was going to say, did you have a long drive? No, it was in town.
Yeah,
there's no excuse.
Exactly.
Yeah, we call ourselves A2. So like I think we're like a lower end AA team is what they call us, or a good single A team. I don't really know, but I know that the 12U AA Flyers pumped the teams that we played, and we got beat 10-4, 8-1, 6-1, 7-2.
Oh wow!
You know, and it was like we did not play well. Our goalies played well,
Yeah.
but we didn't play that well. But at the same time, you know, it's just a mental game.
It's also a learning experience for a lot of the kids too. You know, it's a learning experience for a lot of them, and you know, because a lot of them A2, you get a lot of kids coming up and they're learning. You know, it's like okay, because you have a lot of kids came from 10U.
Yeah.
You know, you have a lot of kids from 10U coming in and they're learning, and I know you have some talented kids. I know some of those kids on your team, and there's some very good players. But the beginning of the year, it's almost like we're feeling kids out, and you're feeling your teammates out, you know. And then all of a sudden, once that happens, you go, "Oh, season's over! Damn it! Come on, we're doing good. We're hitting our stride, man. Come on!" And I guess I know what you're talking about, but yeah, you have some really good ball players, hockey players on that team there, and really you do. And where were you this weekend?
We were in Louisville.
Oh, Louisville. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So we were playing in that terrible Iceland rink that hasn't changed since I was a peewee. Yeah, but it was a great time.
Good pizza place across the street, though.
Yep.
You got a good pizza place across the street.
And there was right next to the hotel, there was a hibachi place. So
Okay.
like the kids loved it. You know, we all went to hibachi, got some sake bombs, and it was fun. But yeah, but all the kids are great kids. You know, like there's no bad eggs on the team. You know, just some losses, and that's kind of how it goes. You know.
Okay.
So you were about what, 14 when you started thinking about juniors? Like, take us back there, because we want to talk about juniors here.
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of people are way deep into AAA or whatever. They're 5-6 years into travel hockey, and then you get up to the decision point where it's like, are we going to keep going with this? And I think a lot of people don't quite know what it entails, and you know, the billeting process and all that. They might have an idea. It seems like it's a choose your own adventure. I mean, you've got all kinds of these different divisions, and you brought some maps for us. But walk us through, like, how did you and your dad
Parents,
and your mom?
That's a big thing.
How did you decide that you wanted to look into this, and what did you do?
So basically, I didn't really understand what was going on until it borderline hit me like a bus, right? I was playing U16 AA, and all of a sudden, someone, I think it might have been either Tim McAllister or Scotty, was like, you need to go to this thing called a showcase, right? And a showcase is basically a weekend of games with a bunch of random kids who get put on random teams, and they play, and scouts watch them, and they go, you got to go to this showcase. It's called Elite Edge. It's in Nashville, so you don't have to.
Oh, that's good that it was in Nashville too, because a lot of times these showcases in Boston, Minnesota.
But Nashville's become a destination for hockey. I mean, we got like 12 tournaments here during the season, so we're kind of lucky
but
how
it's
nice
different.
the city is.
A showcase is different. You want to? I mean,
So a showcase, you kind of sign up. So you have to specifically say, like, my kid is going to play in the showcase, right? You got to pay your fee. You got to sign all the waivers. You got to do the whole red tape and get your kid in the showcase, right? Then once he's there, he's literally randomly assigned to be put on a team. And then he goes in the locker room. Some random junior coach is behind the bench and says, all right, we're going to roll 3 lines. We're going to have 60. All right, best of luck. Go out there and play hockey. And that's all a showcase is. Afterwards, sometimes we'll do off-ice testing. You know, if they're really serious, they'll have little seminars. Like, there's always an NAHL seminar at all these showcases where the guy shows up, gives you this little pamphlet, says, this is junior hockey. This is the step to playing in college. This is how you get there, right? So I am 16, and I just had a really good season where I finally grew a little bit. And by grow, I mean I went from 5'2" to 5'5", you know, not huge. Yeah. And all of a sudden, a coach from the NA3HL, the National North American Prospects Hockey League, which does not exist anymore, mind you, he comes up and he's like, hey, you know, I'd love to have you sign with my team and play. And we were the Atlanta Fire. That was the team.
Wow.
And basically, my parents were like, no, you're not going. And I was like, why not? Like, this sounds awesome. You know, 2 of my good buddies who played on the teams with me, his name is Devin Pierce, great hockey player.
Wait.
You know Devin?
My wife knows Devin very well.
Yeah, great dude.
We'll talk later.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very good guy.
Yeah.
This is very... Wow, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Devin Pierce and then his other good buddy Caleb Calloway.
Okay.
Ed Calloway is an attorney at I think it's Holland and Knight. But anyways, they were like two good buddies of mine. Played with them for a couple of years, and they're like, "We're going."
Yeah, Devin went to Lehigh, right? Or where did he go?
He went to Liberty.
Liberty. I knew
Yeah.
it was started in L.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I know about that.
And
and his
then-
brother's really good too.
Yeah, he's really good at
Yeah.
He's got roller hockey, right? Isn't
Yeah.
he play pro
That-
roller
yeah,
hockey?
yeah.
But yeah, they're like, "We're going."
Crazy, isn't it, Greg? Huh? You're
I'm
blowing
gonna
your
cut
mind.
this part out. Let's keep the story
Yeah,
going.
he
Come on,
got
I don't
so
care
angry.
who knows who.
Bang finger. Okay, go ahead.
And they're like, "We're going. We've already signed. We're gonna go." So me, I'm like, I want to go. I really want to go really badly. My parents are like, "No, you're about to start your junior year at Brentwood High School. This is the most important year to get into college. We're not going to have you go to some Atlanta high school, you know." And in hindsight, they were probably right.
Oh yeah, they
you know?
were. Yeah, they were.
But-
Atlanta, the hotbed of
Yeah.
hockey. Let's
Yeah.
be honest.
Redwood or Atlanta?
You know what? And was it South Atlanta?
I,
Where all the
where
rings are north.
I honestly have no idea where it was. But, you know, Caleb went there, and Caleb played D3 at St. Olaf. He works in finance now. He turned out just fine.
And he's playing beer league with you,
and he's-
isn't he?
I actually think he quit beer league because he was getting too angry.
Yeah, well,
He
shocking.
said it's very nice. But now he's on, he lives in Minneapolis, and he's on the board of coaching.
Okay.
there,
Well,
somewhere
he's
for
doing
youth
something
hockey.
at least. There we go.
Yeah. But Mr. Calloway still plays with my dad.
That's awesome. This episode is brought to you by the Butter Bash.
This is just so cool. It's kind of like Family Feud, but honky tonk style. I love it.
All right, guys, we got 3 songs we're going to sing. The only rule is everybody's got to sing, all right?
The Butter Bash. Where country music meets comedy, game show party, hosted by at Your Boy Butter, www.thebutterbash.com. Follow the Butter Bash on Instagram.
Let's go.
That was good.
But anyways, they're like, "We're going." So I said, "I gotta go." My parents go, "No, you're not going." Right. So that was
This was from one showcase.
yeah.
That's actually pretty good because I know a lot of people. I mean, again, I'm going to throw it back up north. A lot of times they say, we're going to have a showcase. And people, I mean, up north, they going wild. They're like, yeah, let's go. Yeah, 500, 300, whatever. Throwing money out. And the guys are sitting up top going, we're really not taking anybody. We just want their money.
Glorified tryout.
And it really is. We just do it so we want to basically fund, get the kiddie in the program. Okay, great.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
And
that's
so
great.
What's it going for now? 500-600 now? What do you
I
think?
couldn't tell you.
It's got to
I
be
couldn't
like
tell you.
500-600. It's got to be. Hey, the showcases it's a great thing for.
I remember getting an invite to a showcase like 6 years ago for Jack for $400.
Yeah.
And it's like, what? He doesn't do anything. So it's not even a real showcase. He got like fake showcases.
And it's in the spring.
Yeah,
That's another one, too.
Yeah,
It's in the spring.
Elite Edge it's normally in June.
Yeah.
June.
Yeah.
And so my parents were like, "You're not going." But we did get all the informational stuff for that season, and we kind of learned that there is a whole world of junior hockey out there, and that was when we started to kind of figure out, this is something that might have to be done if I keep on getting better, right? So the next year.
Was your dad with the program at that moment, or he was still? And your mom and dad were like, "No, you're still not going."
Well, they were very much like, this is something we need to consider down the line.
Okay.
But you're not going this year.
Okay,
And
you're still
so-
too young and mature. Okay,
Yeah.
Well,
So
respected.
Yeah. So then, after I do my junior year, and then I get another offer to go for my. So then I get another offer. After playing for my junior year. Played U18 AA the whole season, played high school hockey. It was fun. It was great. It wasn't that, competitive. I would say that I probably had like 70 points in 45 games, like nothing crazy.
Nothing crazy. 70 points. So let's see, we got Gretzky over here.
No,
He's not saying anything.
But I say that
role player.
I say that in like response to the
know.
fact that there was a kid who
300.
got drafted into the OHL. His name is Derek Lyle. Don't know if you know him. I don't think he continued playing hockey, but he was one of the best players I've ever seen.
Okay.
And he was scoring 3-4 goals a game, and it was just such a smaller community in Nashville at that point that like the sick kids were sick.
Yeah, like everyone knew him, I'm sure. I get this is cool to listen to you talk about how this started.
Yeah.
Really, honestly, you're a trendsetter. Mm-hmm. You're the guy. You and the guys that started this whole thing, and that's why we're following you. Mm-hmm. Our kids are following you, and that's what's really cool about it. Because you guys started this whole thing. You had attention to you. Did showcases. Wow, Nashville's on the map because of you guys. Mm-hmm. Let's be honest. You know, that's great.
Yeah.
Keep going. I'm enjoying this so much. Go ahead.
And I was talking to one of the coaches who used to coach AAA and also coached Ravenwood High School. Mm-hmm. And he ended up coaching the Brahmas in Texas.
Oh, really?
And I was talking to him, and I was training with him in the summers. And this is the summer before my senior year. So I finished my junior year of high school. I'm talking to this coach. And I am talking to Carlos Zernis as well, who was the assistant coach of Latvia. He was like a coach of the Thunder at the time. He lived in Nashville. And I was talking to all these coaches, just trying to like communicate that I want to play junior hockey, right? And it's so weird because all of these leagues are very word of mouth. Yeah. You go to these camps, you go to these tryouts, you go to these showcases. The coaches will talk to you every time. Mm-hmm. They'll be like, we like what we saw. We don't like what we saw. Thanks for your time. Or, we really liked you. Maybe come to our pre-draft camp. Maybe come to our, open tryout.
Where's your parents?
August.
I want to talk to them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And basically, all of these junior leagues have drafts as well. So they're saying, if you want, we could draft you and then we'd retain your rights. And if you had to sign with a junior team in this league, we would have the right to do that. Mm-hmm. So, of course, telling a 17-year-old kid about your rights to being drafted, I'm like, well, okay, like la-ti-da. But the entire time, I still have no idea, how the rights, the drafting works until the NA3HL draft comes. Mm-hmm. And I don't get drafted, even though the junior Preds, the new team, said they were going to draft me. Okay. They told me verbally they were going to draft me. They didn't draft me, and I'm like, okay. It's all over Zoom or Twitter, Cisco WebEx back in the day. Yeah. And so I go up to the coach. I'm like, I thought you guys were going to get my rights. And they're like, well, there's a couple other guys we had our minds on, And I'm like, okay, so this is all just actually kind of puffery.
Yeah,
great. Yeah,
thanks, guys.
Cool. Fist bumps.
Yeah.
And so at that point, 17-year-old me is like, what even is junior hockey? And that's when my parents and I start to do a little more research after I kind of am flying by the seat of my pants and kind of get screwed over, right? And we learn that there are dozens of junior hockey leagues out there, right? There's the EHL, the USPHL, the Western States League, the BCHL, the OJHL, the GOJHL, which is weird because the age out year is 2 years older than the rest of North America, So we're learning all of this stuff about all these junior leagues. And it boils down to the fact that they're all businesses, right? They all are designed.
You nailed it. Just that. You just said the words. It's all businesses.
Yeah, it's all businesses. But that being said, all of the coaches are good hockey players. They all have connections.
Or ex-NHLers or ex players, and that's okay.
Yeah. And so if you want to go play in college, pretty much anywhere, you want to go talk to these people, right? I happen to know couple junior coaches who played with a couple guys in the NHL, who know a couple guys at D3 schools, and Al Rooney is the name of the guy who coached me in Texas, and he's from Long Island.
I think that name sounds familiar.
Yeah. So he knew a couple guys at Niagara and a couple guys up at the SUNY schools. And stuff
SUNY
like that.
schools were always a big one. You said SUNY schools. That was I know a lot of Plattsburgh was like one of the top D3 schools up there, and they would take all the kids from Canada.
Yeah.
It's all the kids from Canada.
So it's interesting because we also learned that in addition to all these like connections that all the coaches have, all the teams also get, connections. So we started out by learning about the NAHL, and that's what they call Tier 2.
Yep.
And Tier 2 is in the middle between Tier 1 and Tier 3, and it's kind of like a ladder system. So there's Tier 2 juniors, which is the NAHL, and there's Tier 3 juniors, which is the dozen leagues below, but mainly the NA3HL, Tier 3, right?
So this is the one that you were in.
So
This is the one that I
out
got
there-
dropped from.
So if anyone out there listening, it's not that confusing. Please look at the map. That's people are like going, oh boy.
So you'll see down there, right in the bottom, it says Brahmas. There's a little bowl right by Texas there, right?
It's in Dallas, right?
Yeah, that's in Dallas. So I attended their preseason, their open camp for preseason, and I immediately got dropped down to their NA3 affiliate.
Okay.
Right, which is in the same building.
Oh, really?
Which is very
Okay.
nice.
Okay.
Right. So I didn't have to change billets or anything like that.
perfect.
Right? But I am getting a little bit ahead of myself because I had my whole injury before I signed in
Ooh,
Texas.
okay,
But
okay.
I'll keep on
Okay.
talking about juniors here. But yeah, so there's the Tier 2 and there's the Tier 3, and they are direct affiliates.
Okay.
Right.
So it's almost like AA. What the kids are playing now, single A, double A, triple. Well, not triple A because you can't have a triple A and a single A, or triple A is totally different. So you have to have a double A and a single A in the program.
Right, but now imagine they were owned by the same person, and they had the ability to pull up single A kids to come play double A whenever they wanted.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah,
Here
yeah.
too.
So that's pretty much how the NA and the NA3 work together, right? And
So they're called NA3HL.
correct, North American Tier 3 Hockey League. Yep.
And that's the primary third tier, or there's now just so many third tiers you can't even tell.
It's
So
probably a lot.
they have kind of consolidated a little bit. There used to be leagues called like the Western States League, and that league was literally the Wild West.
Yeah.
Right? There was a couple great teams, but yeah, it's mainly the NA3HL now, the USPHL, and the EHL
Yeah.
now. So those are the main 3 Tier 3 leagues. Now, most, if not all, Tier 3 teams are affiliates to some Tier 2 team, right? They have some
It's the minor
connection.
league system of the Tier 2 teams.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Now, the map you're looking at right there is the USPHL, right? So the USPHL is its whole other entity, right? That's not directly affiliated with USA Hockey like NAHL and NA3HL is. So the USP owns everything down from end of junior hockey to 8U,
Wow,
right? It's all those teams. You've probably played the Junior Hurricanes
Yeah,
or
the
something.
Mad Hatters.
The
The Mad
PAL team, the Long Island team.
Yeah.
I see them up there too. You have, and exactly like even the Spartans over here. It's the Spartans. The Spartans have their team, so they have the junior team of almost the Warriors, I guess, if you want to mess with that. But yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
So is this tier 3 still? Or is this tier 1?
That is Tier 3, but it's interesting because the USP it's been its own thing for so long that it's like good Tier 3. So if you play in the USP Premier, that's like really good, right? You're really good if you're playing a USP Premier. But it's also still considered Tier 3 under USA Hockey rules. So it's kind of interesting how that, like the name of it, has an impact on where the kids want to go.
What's the difference between Premier and Elite? We got
The
two.
level. So the Premier is the top USP. So here, let me backtrack a little bit, right? USA Hockey.
This is confusing.
So USA Hockey has various affiliated junior leagues with it,
Correct,
right?
yeah.
And those are based out of Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3. Okay. Tier 1 USA Hockey sanctioned junior league is the USHL,
USHL. I
which
know
is
that, yeah.
filthy good. Those
Yeah.
kids are sick, right?
Those are D1 people, like the top prospects that
Yes.
aren't getting pulled to Canada and the OHL and the Western and the
Correct.
Yeah.
QMD.
The QMJHL.
It's not the East Coast Hockey League, that's to tell you.
It's not professional. You don't pay to play.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is paid for, but it is not professional, so you can still play NCAA hockey.
Yep.
Right.
Okay.
And then the league below that is the NAHL, which is Tier 2. That directly feeds into the USHL. One of my good buddies who played with me at Miami, he played for the Kenai River Bears in Alaska.
Okay.
And he got brought up to the USHL for a couple games, and he had to fly himself to Youngstown,
Oh, geez.
Ohio, for his USHL games. Right. And then he got pulled back to Alaska. But yeah, so
It's a big difference.
So they can directly call you up just like you're getting called up from the AHL to the NHL.
Yeah, you're going to Milwaukee, going to Nashville.
So tier 1 and tier 2, you're not paying anything.
Correct. In tier 3, you are paying.
That's where it gets businessy.
Yeah.
Correct. So a lot of times, this happened to a lot of people on my team, and to an extent, I kind of knew I was going to play NA3, but I was also like, well, what if I make the NA team? You know, they're like, if you make the NA team, you won't pay anything. They say that. They say you won't make it. If you make it, you won't pay.
Oh, wow.
So everybody's trying to make the NA, right? Because that's the one where you save your parents' money.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But if you play in the NA3, you do pay.
Yeah.
And I think that my fee was $8,000.
Okay.
Which is a lot, but you know, given the situation, the coach really helped me out
less
that
than-
league, and
Yeah.
I mean, it was $8,000 in
Pee-wee
2015.
and some bantam fees now.
Yeah,
I mean,
some
it was
AAAs.
$8,000 in 2015.
Yeah,
so
so it's
I
a
don't know
little
how
bit
much
more.
that would be now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's kind of the way USA Hockey sanctioned juniors works, right? And then if
And
you-
that starts at 16.
yeah, you can play in that league as young as you want, but it ages out at age 20.
And
Yeah. Well,
if you
age
go
20.
if you go at 18, that's a late bloomer,
Yeah.
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
And that's
Correct.
kind of a whole different game.
Right. So I got my offer to play in the NAPHL, and again, it was just one offer. Some kids get dozens, but
Yeah.
I had my one offer to play in the NAPHL when I was 16, 17, right?
Nice.
And that was when I would have been kind of a normal age to start that process, which is
Yeah.
what two of my friends did, and they played juniors. They went up to the NAHL and went to college after that.
Well, the big thing is you nailed it. You said you age out at 20. So that's what's happening now with this whole new rule that's come out. So a lot of these kids play major juniors now too, and when they age out at 20, guess what's happening now? It's almost like the the NIL, what's going on with football. You go into the portal. So now what's happening is the colleges are going to juniors now and picking off these kids and recruiting the kids at 20 years old. So the days of a college of a college coming to a high school or coming to a lower junior going, hey, we want you in our program is gone now.
Well,
They'll
it's
pick 'em.
been gone for a while. now.
Yeah.
I mean, there was 3 kids on my club team were 21-year-old freshmen.
And that's what it is. So,
yeah.
and that's why it's always it's different because that started a while ago, but it's even more enhanced now because of the whole football, basketball,
Yeah.
baseball, and it's the whole NIL. So these guys are not even picked high school plays. I mean, you see occasionally, you're like, oh, that kid's getting drafted in the first round at a high school out of Minnesota. I mean, high school in Minnesota is pretty damn good, though.
Yeah,
That's
they're-
no joke.
They're very, very good.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think I skipped us ahead to late bloomers. If you're in the tier 3 or whatever and the portal type thing, how do you move up? Can you move up to tier 2? What
Yeah.
is the fungibility of
so-
going from these tier 3 leagues versus maybe getting called up to tier 2? Do you have rights when you say you've signed your contract rights?
Yeah, so most of the time, if not all of the time, my case was a little bit easier because the Brahmas were owned by the exact same person with the exact same staff, right? So they were like, we can just call you up and you come across the hallway, But 99.9% of the time, the tier 3 leagues will have some affiliation with the tier 2 leagues, and they say that they can call you up when they want, when they need you, if they think you're ready and if they think you're good enough, right? So there's a lot of mobility between the tier 3 and the tier 2 leagues because kids get hurt.
Do they give you money back?
Do
they pay you? I was gonna say.
That is one thing. One of my good friends who played basically split his time between the Brahmas in the NA and the Brahmas in the NA3 said that basically they prorate it at the end of the season,
Ah.
so you get some back.
Okay,
right?
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
You know,
So, and that's how the Brahmas did it. I think that because everything is its own business entity, that it might be different. But I will tell you that he said he got prorated.
Okay.
So
that's actually a great question, and
Yeah.
I
It's kind of like a two-way contract.
yeah, it's the exact same thing as a two-way
Except
contract.
you're paying on one way. And the second way, it's like, yeah,
As a parent, you better stay. Don't suck.
Yeah. So there's a lot of movement between the 2 or 3 leagues. I remember we were in our national. We were a good tier 3 team. For the most part, tier 3 juniors is pretty mid, but if you're on like the really good upper crust teams, like it's good hockey, right? It's good. It's kind of worth your time to pay and go and play and grind it out in the tier 3.
And you were how old when you went to the Brahmas?
I was 18.
So you had graduated high school.
Correct.
So this was your gap year.
This was my gap year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll talk about why I didn't play in my senior year in a second.
Injury, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You know.
Shocker. But I ended up having to miss the whole season because I was rehabbing from my strokes.
Wow.
So I was very fortunate that the coach, who did know me, he knew me from Brentwood. He was like, hey, like if you get better, you have a spot here. You get better, you get healthy, and if you think you can play, you and your parents let you can play.
Wow.
So that's when I was like, yeah, I'll do it. My parents were like, we don't want you to, but we'll give you 1 year.
Okay.
So
All right, well, tell us what happened.
Yeah,
Just go ahead.
Injuries are always a part of the game. Let's be honest, and you hear so much stuff like, "Oh, I could have been this, or I did this, but knee blew out, or I blew my arm out.
Yeah.
I'm stopped. I can't pitch anymore, or whatever."
Yeah.
But with what you just said earlier, it's very intriguing. It's not intriguing, but it's interesting.
Yeah.
Because your injury doesn't sound like a normal injury.
no, very abnormal.
Yeah.
So what happened?
So I had signed a tender with the Brahmas to play my senior year of high school. Right, I was already going to go. It was already a done deal.
And you're playing Brentwood. You're getting ready to go.
You'd already taken your SATs or whatever?
Yeah, I had taken the ACT.
ACT, nobody takes the
ACTs
SAT
anymore,
anymore.
no.
It's too
I had
hard.
taken the ACT. I got some special offer from Duke University when I was in 7th grade to take the ACT early. So I took the ACT for the first time in
What in the
7th
world?
grade.
Oh, someone's a genius.
That's
huh?
intriguing.
And I
we
got
got Doogie Howser over here.
I got a score high enough. I think I got like a 22. Like nothing. I was in 7th grade. Like what are you gonna do? And they were like, "Your score is good. Your score's
People don't get
your
22.
your score's good
I
enough to
just
go to
signed my
college."
name.
Yeah, they were like, "Your score's good enough to get into some colleges if you don't want to take it again." I was like, "Well, I'm gonna take it again."
Yeah.
So I took it again. I think I got like a 30 or something.
Quit flexing on us.
I was
We
the-
don't need to
well,
get
I was-
specific.
Yeah,
We're not
yeah,
asking
exactly.
you that
Before-
score.
before I
So
say that-
anyway.
Before I say that, my brother got a perfect score.
Did he really?
Yeah, he's a freak. My brother is
wow.
a freak, and now he's an interventional radiologist.
Oh my God.
So he's pretty good at what he does.
God bless him.
Yeah, but yeah. So I was already kind of set to I had all my college app stuff ready.
I'm sorry to keep interrupting, but when does this happen? What time of the year? Is it
So this-
April?
this
Is it
is
May that you
April.
get this? You sign to go?
Yeah. So I signed the tender in April of 2014. 17 years old, 2014. Okay. So I'm wrapping up my junior year of high school. I'm getting ready for the summer before senior year. May of 2014 is the CCM showcase in Denver, Colorado.
Okay.
And my parents were very hesitant to let me go out there. They were like, why do we need to do this? And the coaches were like, well, it's probably best to get as much exposure as possible. You've got your tender, but if you get like an NA offer, that's
it.
you got it. You got to take it. You get a USHL offer, that's even better. You take that. So I go to this showcase, and I don't really know what play it was. I couldn't tell you what exactly happened. My guess is that I hit somebody late because I'm a son of a bitch, and he gave me a little cross check, I assume, that bumped my neck, and it burst my artery inside my neck,
Oh man.
and I didn't notice.
Wow.
So right underneath where my helmet would be,
Okay.
like right behind my ear,
Yeah.
is where your carotid artery runs up
Yep.
to your brain, right? So I am kind of feeling funny for the rest of the game. I don't really know what's going on. A coach from the Western States League comes and talks to me, and he's like, would love it if you came out to, Ogden, Utah. I'm like, and I shake his hand, there's all these stairs leading up from the rink level to where the parents are waiting. And I'm walking up, and I'm like, these stairs are long. This is really weird. I feel oddly out of breath.
Wow.
I'm like, I just played a game, but I feel oddly out of breath.
Okay.
I get up there, put my bag down. All of a sudden, my vision's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like I can feel my heartbeat in my eyes.
Oh
you know?
boy.
And my dad's like, what's going on? I'm like, I think I just got to sit down. So we go to the car. He takes my bag. We sit down in the rental car. All of a sudden, straight line down the middle of my body, left side, not working.
Oh my.
Yeah. And they're like, my dad's a pediatrician. So he's looking at me like, what the fuck? Like, what the hell? And I'm like, this is really weird. I can't talk. I don't know. Like, I'm like,
You got Bell's palsy going on.
that's exactly what he thought it was. So he went to Vanderbilt Medical School.
Oh,
And he went to residency at Northwestern. So he like called his neurologist friends and he's like, this is what my son is presenting. We're in Denver right now.
Maybe it's the altitude or something.
Yeah,
You never know,
yeah.
you know.
And I kind of had a little bit of altitude sickness as well. So they're like, we think that it's Bell's palsy. We think it's onset by the altitude. We'll see what's going on. And the weirder thing is that 10 minutes goes by and I'm fine.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like completely
That is
fine.
weird.
Yeah. So my dad's like making me do these little neurological tests,
Yeah.
follow everything. Yeah. And I'm fine, completely fine. And the rest of the night, my dad's like, we're going to go get you something to eat. We're going to make you drink a gallon of water,
Okay. Yeah.
And I am fine for the rest of the night. He makes me go to this park before the skate in the morning. And he's like, I want you to balance on one foot. I want you to balance on the other foot.
Okay.
Like all these neurological tests, I'm fine, completely fine. And then I get on the ice, I'm skating, a couple shifts in, I feel my hand get a little tingly.
Oh, okay.
Get a little tingly. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to get off the ice. I get off the ice on the bench.
That's
I'm sitting
smart
there.
that you did that.
Yeah.
Because usually, like, I'm pinch
Yeah.
nerve, whatever,
Yeah. I'm sitting there and I'm like, this is weird. But by get off the ice, I mean, I just ended my shift.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And so I'm sitting on the bench. Then I feel fine by the time I get back for the time to hop on the ice for my shift.
Mm-hmm.
Then my shift would go and I'd get a little bit tingly, get off the ice. Did that for 3 more games. And so
3 more games.
yeah, and this was in May of 2014, right?
okay.
So I finish out the weekend. I don't do very well, obviously. And my dad's like, man, that's really weird. That's just really, really weird that happened to you, right? We don't know what's going on. We'll maybe go and have a couple like meetings with some
doctor,
neurologists and just see what's going on. And we meet with a couple of his neurologist friends and they're like, yeah, I mean, you're fine. You look fine now. Like it was really weird that happened, but we don't think anything serious happened. I mean, you presented stroke-like symptoms, but you're 17. 17-year-old kids don't have strokes. So we don't think it was anything bad. So then I get back on my training grind. I start skating with coaches 3 times a week. I'm working out with the high school hockey team 3 times a week. And slowly through the course of a couple weeks, every time I'd get super tired, my left side would go a little numb, and I would be like, weird. Let me just stop for a second. Then I'd be fine. And it went on like that for probably 2.5 to 3 more weeks. And then right before Elite Edge, so the end of June, I'm skating with my high school team and we're doing like backwards inside edges, right? Just like power skating. And I go to do my backwards left side inside edge, no muscle, just clunk
Wow.
on the ground. And all of a sudden I can't get up. And I'm like, I can't get up. Everybody's
Wow,
like,
that's gotta be scary.
yeah.
Wow.
Everybody's like, what do you mean you can't get up? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. So they kind of help me get to the bench. 10 minutes goes by. Fine. Again. So then the coaches are like, okay, well maybe just take it easy, I guess, So then I'm like,
Coaches don't know.
Yeah,
You don't know.
yeah.
I mean, my God. Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
And so we have off ice after that and we're doing plate pushes on the turf. And so we're pushing the plate and all of a sudden, boom, boom,
Oh,
on
man.
the ground again. I'm like, this isn't weird. This is bad.
Wow.
So I call my dad, and my dad's like, okay, this is getting weirder. We're going to take you to a specialist.
And what kind of specialist would you go to? I mean, was it a neurologist?
Just a different neurologist.
Oh, wow,
Just
okay.
another neurologist. And again, they're like, all the stuff that you're saying is happening, coupled with the fact that you're playing hockey, probably means you have some weird combination of a manifestation of anxiety. You're about to move away from home.
Oh, okay.
You have a pinched nerve, very clearly, hence the tingling, and you have Bell's palsy that's lingering. And I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. And like everybody is saying this, right? So what can I do? And what my parents, who are both medical professionals, are like, this is what these people are saying. We don't have any evidence to the
What did you
contrary.
think at this time? Do you think they're full of crap?
No.
Or do you? Are you so
No.
you like? No, okay, I believe exactly what's going on.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I'm completely convinced that like it's me because I was fucking nervous to go move away from home. Of
course.
I was 17.
Yeah.
And then we're at Elite Edge that next weekend. And I have 3 really, really bad episodes.
Really?
Yeah. Like my glove falls off my hand. I can't get it back on.
Yeah, that's...
I'm sitting in a chair and I just tip over and I can't get up. And like kids have to like help me get up and I'm not on the ice. So like they help me up and I'm like walking like weird. And eventually I get off the ice and I put my wallet somewhere else in the rink. I put my keys somewhere else in the rink. I'm missing a skate. I'm missing a shin pad. I'm missing an elbow
Oh
pad.
my God.
And my dad, and I call my dad and I'm like, you have to come get me. He's like, why? You drove yourself here. I'm like, you just have to come get me. So by the time that he gets to the rink, I'm fine. You know, my blood pressure's back down. But the kicker was that I did not know that I had lost my stuff.
Wow.
So my dad's like looking through my shit. He's like, where's your wallet? I'm like, I don't know.
It's not in the bag?
Yeah. And he's like, where's your skate? I'm like, I don't know.
No, that's
You know?
weird. I
And
mean,
that's
where's your
what-
skate?
Yeah. So that's when he's like, this is actually really, really weird that you're like presenting these symptoms and then not presenting them. And this was very clearly a stroke. Like my dad was like, that's bad.
Mm-hmm.
Calls in a favor to get me into Vanderbilt for the MRI.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, my stubborn ass, I'm like, I'm going to finish the weekend. So I play 2 more times,
jeez.
right? I play 2 more times. That Sunday afternoon, I'm in the MRI machine. They're like, your MRI is going to, you ever had an MRI before? I'm like, no,
A little warmth through your head, yeah.
They're like, it's a full body MRI because we got to see your brain. So you'll probably be in there for about 30 minutes. I was in the MRI machine for 2.5 hours.
Oh my God.
So I come out of the MRI machine and the little guy's like, do you want to see your brain? I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. He's like, you see this little white bit right here? I'm like, yeah. He's like, dead.
Whoa.
I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, no, not alive. So,
Whoa.
Oh my God.
and it's like right here,
Wow, your frontal lobe.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I end up getting admitted. They tell my mom that I've had a series of strokes. They don't know how many. My mom starts bawling,
Of course.
And so then I get admitted to the hospital and they're like, you'll be in here for 2 days because we're going to give you a sub-Q injection called Lovenox. You'll be in and out. You just got to take that shot every day for about 4 or 5 months and you'll be on your way. You're young, your arteries will repair itself.
Okay.
Not a problem. I get the injection and I am the second person in the United States to be allergic to Lovenox.
Oh boy.
So they're like, we don't know why you were allergic to it. Nobody has really ever been allergic to it before.
Holy cow.
So the only other option for a blood thinner that I could have that didn't have the active ingredient of Lovenox in it was called Coumadin.
Coumadin.
or
I know
warfarin.
I knew Coumadin very well.
And you got to bridge yourself on it. It
Yeah.
takes like 10 to 12 days.
Correct.
So I spent, I think, 10 and a half, 11 days in the hospital, 4 IVs in, getting my blood drawn all the time.
Oh man. And
Yeah.
I mean, Coumadin, you can't really clot.
Correct.
So,
Correct.
you're bleeding, you're taking blood. You're like, can't stop this.
Yeah. So I ended up getting discharged and they were like, you got to stop playing hockey. And I'm like, for how long? Right.
Yeah,
And they're
exactly.
like, no, like you got to like stop playing hockey. And so I didn't play hockey for, I don't know. My dad says it was like 3 months, but in my mind it was more like 5, 5 or
Okay.
6, where I couldn't do anything active.
Really?
So what actually happened medically was that my artery kind of busted inside my neck and it clotted on top of that. And the clots are what made the strokes.
Oh,
So
wow.
the scab where my artery had kind of closed off its own wound.
Shot.
Yeah. And
Shot up and
so
killed you.
it was not only stopping the blood flow by clotting itself, but the clots were breaking off and going up in there.
Yeah.
So they were like, yeah, we're going to just have to, you're super young, 17. So you're young enough to where your arteries will repair itself if you just make your blood
Stop.
super thin and stop doing anything.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah. So I did. And, 8 months later, got my little scan, and this artery is normal, right? This artery looks like that. It's,
Oh, really?
it's thin.
Okay,
But the
yeah.
the walls repaired itself. So,
Okay.
that was all.
You're still 17 at this point. You turn 18.
18. He's 18
I just
now.
turned 18. Yeah. So I kind of told my parents, I'm like, there's no way you're stopping me. I'm 18 now. I'm playing again.
I can make my own decisions. Gold promise.
Yeah. So the whole time I'm like kind of talking to the coach who had signed me, Coach Rooney. And the whole time he's like, well, we burned a tender on you, which kind of sucks,
Yeah,
but
thanks.
we're glad you're okay.
Yeah.
And he's a classic Long Island guy, so
Of course.
he's
Those bastards.
yeah, he's the guy.
He said it in a nice
That's
way.
one thing about people from the Northeast
Tell it like it is.
compared to people from the South is like, if you have a flat tire on the side of the highway, they'll cuss you out and change your tire.
Yeah.
Where down here, they'll say, "Oh, I'm so
Bless your
sorry,
heart."
so sorry," and then drive away.
Yeah,
right?
We're gonna draft you. We're gonna draft
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, we're gonna draft you. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And no, thanks
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
See ya.
we
that
burned
was
a
that was
tender
that was a
on
different team. That was a
Yeah.
different team.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, but yeah. So I'm talking with him, and he's like, "Look, if you can get healthy, we'll take you.
Yeah.
You can if you can do it, and your parents let you, and you're cleared medically, we'll take you."
Yeah.
Right. So after that, my parents were kind of like, "You can't go and play multiple years."
I'm
of
sure
juniors.
as a parent, you'd be like, no,
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
you're done. End story.
My parents got me golf clubs, trying to get me to play golf. I'm the whole time I'm just like, no, I'm playing hockey.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the story of why I missed 90% of my senior season.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Okay.
So yeah. So then after that, I was like, I'm gonna play 1 year in the NA3 for pride.
Well,
and,
more
then,
like
and, then,
you-
and then hop into club and then just live my life.
Okay.
Right? So yeah, that's kind of the reason why I only played 1 year of juniors.
Wow.
Yeah.
What'd you learn from that, man?
Yeah.
It's a crazy experience. Like what?
No,
What do you take away from that?
Or I'm going to throw something else crazy at them. When you have kids, your kid that has something like that, you go, oh, yeah, no, you can keep playing. Yeah, absolutely not, dude.
One thing my dad always told me was like, if you don't get up, you're done.
Yeah.
So that's why I was always getting up, because I'm like, I'm not
okay.
being taken off the ice.
I love your dad already.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that guy's great. He's like Mick.
Yeah.
Get up, rock.
Yeah. So I mean, I think if I learned anything from that, it was kind of like, there's gonna be setbacks.
Yeah.
But if you want it, you can do it. Like regardless of the degree.
Yeah.
Right. I didn't go to the NA and the USHL and play NCAA hockey. Right. But I still played 1 year of juniors. I lived on my own. I lived with the family. I worked part time. I played hockey every day. And then I went to college, and I was a year older and I was a year better for it. I think that if I didn't take a year off to play juniors, I would have not made the club team. I would have absolutely not been prepared to live quasi on my own in college. I mean, I literally grew up that year. It was probably one of the best things that I ever did for just myself.
Awesome.
It was so nice. But then the injury itself was, terrifying.
It's scary.
To an
oh,
element.
my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I had strokes.
Right after
mean-
my first game back, I know we're getting aside from the whole junior hockey
No,
thing, but
no. This is more interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, this is this is it. Yeah. No, go for it.
But I remember, the only thing that I could play when I came back was high school, because there was no travel teams that I was able to play for because the season was already in full swing. So my high school team was like, yeah, you can play for us. Like, not a problem. It's high school hockey.
You're a ringer.
Yeah, some
why.
ringer. And ringer can't use his left hand.
Exactly.
And
Just sit on the right wing. Sorry, I'm too.
no, that's fine. I make those jokes all the time.
Good, okay.
I can't tell you how many times I've made stroke jokes, even to like at the office. I'll be like, oh, who's this claimant? Can't remember if I had 6 strokes. Sorry, don't remember.
Oh man.
But
hats off to you.
but yeah, I remember coming my first game back. I was only allowed to play special teams, and I had like one of those like old fuzzy like CCM neck guards.
Okay.
Right? They were the really spongy ones,
Yeah, they're this thick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like dead afraid.
Yeah.
And one of my thing was that I was the guy who would go in the corners, I'd muck it up, I'd get
you
the
can't
puck,
do-
I was
yeah.
a grinder, that's like what I like to do. And I literally got done with the game and I sat there and I just bawled my eyes out. Oh man, I was just crying, like I was just, and like I don't want to see my friends see me cry, no, but I was crying like a toddler who got something taken away, And that was when I kind of made the decision that like, no, this is going to be the pivotal moment where like I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm going to do whatever it takes to get where I want to be. It's not my goal anymore, but like that's where I got to be. I'm not going to get to my goal, right? Which was D1, but how many people get there anyways? So
It's very limited.
yeah.
very
So that's when I kind of made the decision that like, look, it's going to suck. It's going to be super scary, but here we are. We're going to work through it. And so that night, my good friend, he's friends with Pete Rogers, who's the equipment manager for the Nashville Predators.
Okay.
And coincidentally, his wife was my brother's kindergarten teacher.
Oh, wow.
So we kind of had two connections to Pete, and through those two avenues, we kind of reached out twofold. And we're like, hey, I don't know if you remember us, and if you don't remember us, your wife will probably remember my brother Spencer. You know, taught him at Scales Elementary. And they're like, oh, yeah, we remember you guys. And he comes to our house, or my buddy Brendan's house. They were family friends. And I'm like, what did you give Nicholas Jalmerson? Like, you guys all talk, like all the equipment managers. What did you guys give him when he broke his trachea in the 2014 playoffs?
Oh, wow.
And Pete's like, oh, we gave him orthoplastic built into like a special Under Armour. And I'm like, can you make me something like that?
Yeah.
That goes on my right side of my neck? He's like, oh, yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
So he made me 3 like little custom neck guards with a little plate in there.
That's sick.
Yeah. And so I still wear those. Like, yeah.
I would say
Yeah.
I would wear them for the rest of your
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
I don't want to
Yeah.
be, that guy,
Yeah.
but do it. And
Yeah.
I don't want to be your dad.
Yeah.
Your dad's like, we're going to play together, but you're going to wear
Yeah.
a big armor helmet like those,
The Messier helmets. Oh, my God.
Hey, listen, I love those helmets, man. Come on. Look, there he is. See, buddy?
No. No. Mark Messier's fine. Mark Messier's helmets.
Oh,
the
the,
Messier Project helmets.
no.
Good. I mean, not good.
Oh, come on.
No, thank you.
Those are great, those old
you
helmets.
wear
The
this-
what are they, wind gates or something like that?
don't know.
I
I'm
think
gonna
they
find
were.
it.
They
You
was-
wear this neck armor, and then you just go around crushing people.
That's true.
There you go.
That's exactly what I was doing.
Yeah.
So-
You should get the shoulder pads with the big neck rolls on them, like in football.
A lot of the guys in men's league say, like, why do you still wear your shoulder pads? Like, a lot of people don't wear shoulder pads in beer league. I'm like, well, if I don't wear my shoulder pads and you see me with my neck guard on, I literally look phallic. Okay, it's not good. I think a couple other words for it, but I'm like,
Yeah, I know.
I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not gonna wear it. I'm gonna look proportional. Okay,
Yeah.
it's not, that's why I
Yeah,
wear
I
my
can't do
shoulder
it.
pads.
It images everything.
Yeah.
Let's be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
Images everything. And those those shoulder pads are like those hard plastics, and you're
Yeah.
like, you know what? I look good now.
Yeah.
You look bigger than you are. Hey, listen, you gotta. I'm sorry. Listen, 5'5", right? You said
Yeah.
you're 5'5".
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
be 5'7". I take every inch.
So I was still like 5'6" at that point, and then when I was finally took some time off, I grew a couple more inches, I was what am I now? 5'8".
Okay.
Great on a good day. So yeah, and then my coach took a chance on me. It was like, come back, we'll have you. You might not be the scorer, but you're gonna play. You're gonna be, glue guy, and it's gonna be fun. So yeah,
You know your role.
yeah,
Well,
exactly.
I wanted to ask you about that because some of the stuff I'm seeing is, a lot of what we've talked about is people have skill. There's a lot of skill now, but the hockey IQ or how to play hockey, I think that's something we should focus on going forward. But like when you're in the juniors, do people start to fall into their roles? Like what different roles kind of stand out where you're happy to now be on the checking line, or what kind of conversations? How do people figure out what lane they need to be in juniors?
And I mean, absolutely, you start finding your role. That's kind of how I learned. Obviously, I was the kind of guy who would dig the puck out in the corners and stuff.
Lunch pail.
Yeah.
Yeah, lunch pail.
But it's kind of whatever keeps you in the lineup to an extent, If you go out and you score a bunch and the coach thinks you're going to be the scorer and you have the confidence and ability, you're going to probably stay in that role, right? So much of it is mental, though. Like you like to see, like, for example, just Phil Tomasino, scorer his whole life. The Preds put him in a weird grinder role, does not do well, goes to Pittsburgh, playing with Malkin, back in his mental happy place where he's scoring and he's playing great,
Our last guest, Greg, we talked a little bit about that too, and I have a couple friends of mine that played in the NHL and they're managers, and they said the hardest thing is drafting kids. And hey, listen, you're not going to be that 50-goal scorer. We used to say this, he said this last time too. Ty Domi was a 50-goal scorer in juniors. Bob Probert was a 50-goal scorer in juniors, and they said, you're not going to make the NHL. The only way you're going to make it is a fighter.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
or you're a grinder. You're a third line checking center. That's your job. And the hardest thing, as he would say, is these guys. It was so hard for them to accept that role because they were so good. They were the goal scorers. Yeah. And they go, well, no, I'm a goal scorer. Well, not on this team.
Yeah.
Bye.
And I mean, I think that I had an easier time kind of falling into that role because I knew that I wasn't going to play next year in terms of like going to the NA or playing NCAA hockey. I was like, I already know that I'm not going. So I love killing penalties. Scotty taught me how to kill penalties back in the day when I was a peewee, you know, and I loved it, you know. So I was like, Al, his name is Al Rooney. I was like, Al, I'll kill penalties. I'll do literally anything as long as I don't get scratched.
Yeah.
I don't want to get scratched. So I'll do anything, you know. I don't want to sit in the press box.
You want to be the black aces up top.
Yeah. So that's kind of how I fell into my role.
Well, that's
of doing
perfect. That
yeah.
you accepted it. That's
Yeah.
what's great, because you understood and you accepted it. A lot of kids don't accept it, and they're like, "Well, I'm better than that." Well, guess what? Now you're gone.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't matter how high draft pick you were or whatever, how much we signed you for, as long as you understand your role. And everybody has a role. And kids are so prideful now. Parents even more prideful.
yeah.
Like, wait, my kid scored so many goals.
Yeah.
Well, wait a second.
Even in my 12U team, like, we put a different kid out there for the power play, and it's like pouting. You know, it's like, okay, I know that this is not super intense, but, you know, we are on a power play, you know, and you're going to learn that one way or another, whether I teach you or next season's coach teaches you.
Correct.
You know? So,
And you rotate, you
Yeah.
know, and you're going to be that later on.
Yeah.
You know, in single A, double A, triple A. Single A, you know, you could be the goal scorer. When you're in double A, guess what? You're not on the power play. You're not on the shorthanded unit. And you're getting, hey, we're going to shrink the bench here in the third period. Guess what? Because, you know, we're winning.
Yeah.
We're going to play defensive style. So your defensive player is going to play that period. Or, hey, we're down. Hey, that defensive player is not going to get the ice too much because we want our offense out there. We
Yeah.
want to try to make the goals. You know, we
Yeah.
want to do that. And again, I think kids, more parents, let's be honest, you know, and that's why I want to hit to the next thing here with us as you as a coach. How are you taking this whole role of teaching kids how to get to that next level or to understand their roles? Especially, you know, you have kids that were on the 12U team last year, 12A, and they're leaders. And then you had kids coming up from the AA 10U on that team, and they're still going, hey, well, I'm supposed to be the superstar. Well, you're not the superstar anymore.
Yeah.
So how are you teaching that on
Yeah,
as a coach?
I think that, first of all, I'm still kind of learning how to be not just a people manager, but a kid manager.
Yeah.
You know, like that's, you know, you always hear about John Cooper. He's a great players coach, is what they say.
Yeah.
You know, and that's because he knows how to get the most out of each individual person. He knows what to do, what to say, you know, and I'm still learning how to do that, right?
Well, you're still young, too. You know, let's be honest.
You know, sort of young. Sure,
Yeah, you're
you know. But yeah, I think that the only way to kind of teach that kind of mentality is to almost let it play out, and you just kind of be like the invisible hand to kind of guide it, right? I remember a lot of those kind of softer skills of being on a team, I didn't learn because someone told me. I learned it because I was sitting in the locker room watching the older guys do their stuff, you know, and I was terrified, you know, being a freshman on the varsity hockey team in high school, and you see these seniors, you know, making us do something, you know, like that, and obviously we were a little bit older at that point, and we kind of knew our roles of, you know, the hierarchy, but that's the kind of stuff that you learn by just being in the situation.
Locker room.
And I think that the only thing that you can kind of do is be a trampoline, metaphysically speaking, right? You can't let them get too low. You got to bounce them back up, right?
Correct.
That's kind of just how it works, you know, and you just kind of guide them as best you can. And yeah, I call it the trampoline theory, you know.
So when this is all over and you go, hey, I want to go be a coach, what made you do that?
Well, I used to do like summer camps at Miami in the summers with obviously summer camps for Miami Hockey School.
Okay.
Right. So we would do like a week of squirts, peewees, bantams, U16s, U18s, like 1 week of everything, and then maybe another week of peewees, and then the summer would be over. Right. And peewees were always my favorite to coach. So I was, just because they're in that sweet spot where they're not sassy, they don't hate you, but they can think logically enough to where they can do some of the stuff you want them to do, right?
Yeah.
You tell them to run a little system, right? Maybe a 1-2-2. They're like, I get that, right? But they're not going to be like, why? You know, they're not going to be hitting
You
you.
should be doing a 2-1-2.
Yeah. No, well, coach, I need to be in all the time. You're like, what the?
So that's why I requested peewees for my first year coaching, because I think they're the easiest, you know. But I think that honestly, I wanted to be a coach because I've kind of always wanted to coach. I love the systems part of the game. Love it. You know, understanding the different forechecks, understanding how the systems play in, watching them unfold in the game. I am a nerd for it.
Well, let me
love
ask
it.
you, because we had Greg on here, and he's, again, the skills there, but the mindset. Well, how did you learn all that stuff? When were you taught the 1-2-2 and neutral zone traps, and how did you learn it? What stage?
So I was actually taught it by Scotty Phillips Pee-wees was when I learned all that stuff. Obviously, it was pretty rudimentary, right? But he taught us the very basics of how forechecking works, how to regroup, how to filter in lanes, things like that. By the time I was kind of a U14, U16 was when we started getting into more nuanced, like D-zone, PK, trapping, things like that. And then my coach in juniors, Al, was a systems nut. And we'd look at him at the bench, and he'd give a 1, 2, or 3 for what play he wanted after every face-off.
Okay.
So we had to know all these plays and stuff like that. And I think that, learning it when you're young, or at least learning the basics when you're young, and kind of figuring it out, as you go, there's an element to where you remember stuff better when you learn it on your own.
Absolutely.
Right? When you kind of mess it up on your own, you kind of reap what you sow, and then someone tells you how to fix it, and you do fix it.
There's
when
always
you're gonna remember
3
it.
ways of learning. Hands-on, visual, or doing it. Or someone telling you.
Yeah.
And that's awesome there on that. I mean, do you find it as a coach, especially trying to teach these kids, basics with practice, and you're like, all right, well, no, that kid can't really do it. Oh, this kid can, so I'm going to lean on him a little bit more. Oh, wait, ice time's over.
Yeah.
Do you wish
absolutely.
you want more ice time, and do you wish you take these kids aside and go, hey, come here. We're going to do something like, do a side. Okay, we're really, and listen, again, the Flyers organization, you have 50 minutes, and it's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. 50 minutes, 2 times a week, possibly 3 times a week. And to try to get that, would you, I know it, like Greg said too earlier, it is hard to get extra ice time or get extra off, school time.
Yeah.
To go, hey guys, this is the video. Greg has a really cool program that he went out and got, that he can watch the games on Live Barn and literally almost be like John Madden. You're like, boom, here, hit the right around here, boom, boom. He can circle it on it and show where he can go. Would that help you out to do that? He would show you, and or you get it out and go, hey, send it out to your kids on your team. That's the coolest stuff too, that you, as a coach, because I coach baseball, and I'm always like, I'm going to try to do that extra stuff. And you go, all right, who wants to do it? But then you're like, you want to sacrifice your time. You don't have time. It's just times.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So
And that's one thing that I think was very fortunate for us to be the team I was on at the time I was on it. I remember we probably had like a 3-hour ice session one random Saturday where nobody had the ice because the hockey community was so small then. Scotty took us out there. He was like, all right, this is how you do a PK forecheck.
that's awesome.
And then we worked on face-offs. We worked on defensive zone. We had like a literal systems day. And then afterwards, I don't know if you guys know, like at Centennial, there's all those tennis courts, right?
Yeah.
Well, they used to have, where that field house is, a big pavilion.
Oh,
and it
wow.
had a big, giant, like cement viewing area on top of it.
Really?
So he took all of us out there. He drew chalk on the ground, and he was like, okay, now that you don't have your hockey gear on, we're going to run
That's perfect.
and jog a neutral zone forecheck.
That's awesome.
Or in a neutral zone regroup, right?
That is super.
So he made us like go out there and do it on the ice and off the ice.
That's perfect.
And it was just like, different forums,
Wait
different
a
parts
second.
of the brain.
I see the wheels turning here.
My mind's always.
You're retired.
I am.
You're retired, but maybe you come in and you become a hockey IQ consultant.
I did coach hockey up in Long Island.
Yeah.
I
You're
did
level
coach.
2 certified.
I'm level 8.
You're 2. You're a 2.
Yeah, I'm done with. I didn't recertify myself, so I have to go back to 1. Paulie was a 4, and my friend Jay's a 5, just because he wanted to get away and hang out up in
They don't
Lake
mean
Placid.
anything.
That's what
They
he
don't
wanted to
mean
do.
anything.
It's
You're
just
a
if you
level
paid the
4
fee.
consultant.
I'm level 4 consultant.
You're a
Very good.
hockey wisdom
I
guy.
have no wisdom anymore.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm retired. I hate this stuff.
So there was a couple times where, and that's one thing that I do like seeing about the Pee-wees, right? Is you tell them something and they'll go out and do it. Whether or not they do it right
The way you
or,
want.
but they will try.
They'll try.
There was one play just this last weekend where the kid was way too low. He was playing wing, and he was way too low while the puck was in the corner. So I tried to tell him, like, look, D's on the puck. The center supporting the battle. If it goes one way, the center will jump in. You got to be a little bit higher, right? Because if the puck comes up the boards, the D are going to get it and shoot it back in. You want to be able to be there and chip it out. So I tell him this. I bring out the board. I draw it up. He's like, okay. The next shift of his, he is on the D. He is on him like white on rice, which is great, but the puck's in the other corner.
Yeah.
So now he's got to cover the high slot.
Correct.
And the puck goes right to the high slot.
And
in.
boom, goal.
And the Coach Matt's like, you got to be a little lower. And he looks at me like, you just told me to be high. And I'm like, yeah, but you got to know when to be high.
You got to
and
know
low.
when to, it's like Kenny Rogers. You got to
Yeah.
know when to fold them.
Yeah, exactly. So they do, like, the wheels do turn.
Yeah.
Which is great to see,
Yeah.
And I think that, with the Flyers, you get the 2 50-minute sessions. I've wanted to work on face-offs. We never have time.
can't.
I wanted to work on a forecheck, but it's very, very hard.
It's tough.
So-
Yeah. And like I said, IQ. The problem is, too, with kids today, they don't watch hockey games. They watch the TikTok videos of Bedard going end to end, and look at that! I could do that. You're like, no, you can't. No, you can't.
Michigan highlights.
I told my son, if any kid tries to do a Michigan, I want you full board laying that kid out. I'll give you $1.
You're not supposed to pay him,
But
Seth.
$1.
We already
You can't pay him.
established
He's going to
this.
lose his NCAA eligibility.
That's all right. Screw it. He's getting $1. You know what? Then he's $1 in Roblox. So how about
Well,
that?
that's all cool. But actually, that reminds me. That's one thing I did want to talk about. That we've talked about juniors. We've seen this map. It's insane. You can go where you want. There's all kinds of coaches in the back alley making you a deal. Can you trust them? But tell us about this NCAA. It was kind of a prohibition, right? So if you went up to Canada to the major juniors, and there's
major juniors.
3 of them, right? The Western Hockey, the OHL, it's the big dog, and then the MQ whatever.
QHL.
If you went up there for just a camp, then you were considered a pro athlete, and you could not play Division I. I don't know, maybe any Division 3. There is no Division 2.
NCAA,
right?
yeah.
You couldn't play, but they've gotten rid of that rule. So what's the deal now?
They just got rid of it literally a month and a half ago.
That's what I was
Unbelievable.
saying about before. That whole thing that the aid. Yeah.
So what's the deal with that?
The rule was that if you, in the NCAA's mind, keep in mind the NCAA is like a council, right? So 80% of them have no idea how hockey works, right? So they say, okay, if you receive more than reasonable and necessary expenses for your stay at camp, you are no longer a student athlete. You are getting paid for what you do, and you are no longer, you are
eligible,
a pro, right?
Yep.
So for the longest time, if you spent more than, I think it was either 26 or 50 hours. It was either like just over a day or just over 2 days.
Okay.
And you spent it on their dime, you were no longer eligible. It was like clockwork. Like if you were just slightly over, they would dig it out and you'd be done. So for the longest time, kids, would say, okay, I can either go to the NCAA path or the OHL path. And it was a huge decision because if you are going to the OHL, you are basically putting all your eggs in the basket that you have to go play hockey because you are not getting an education.
And you're going up against Canadians.
Yeah.
And the OHL teams will come and play NCAA teams a lot of times, and they will generally lose because they're so much younger.
Yeah.
Right.
And they're also NCAA are more physical.
Correct. So, there's something to be said about, the leagues being better or worse, but the OHL, the CHL, which is the OHL, QMJHL, WHL. Those are the 3 leagues that are like supposed to be a pro schedule, right? So you're playing 45, 50 games a year. You're playing in front of fans. You are doing nothing but playing hockey. You are treated like you're in the NHL before you're in the NHL, right? That's the whole reason the CHL exists.
Correct.
Okay. Now, since the 70s, there's been a big proliferation of junior leagues. You've got more junior B leagues, which are like tier 3 in America. You've got the BCHL, which split off and has since become a whole new thing, the British Columbia Hockey League. And to top it all off, they just now made the rule where, oh, you actually aren't a pro athlete if you just play in the QMJHL for a year, So now the kids have these crazy new options where they can just transfer to NCAA schools,
Well, look at Connor McKenna. But then the first round pick, Connor McKenna. Right? Connor McKenna played at Medicine Hat.
Yeah.
Guess where he's at now? Penn State.
Yep. And he lit it up.
Oh,
in his
he's
first.
a beast.
Yeah.
He's a beast, that kid.
And also like Miami of Ohio, where I went to undergrad, I saw a couple articles where it was like how good their transfer class is. They got a couple guys from the OHL. They got one guy from
Is
Russia.
there going to be a Canadian portal, basically?
It's
the
pretty
Canadians
much
are
it.
just
It's all
going to
one
come
portal.
down and take
It's all
over
portal.
Division One?
Yeah.
It's all portal now.
Well, the thing about it is that I personally think it's a great thing.
Yeah, it is.
Because kids who previously wouldn't have gotten an education are getting educated.
Correct.
At least for 2 years, right? They're at least getting some...
Until they hit 20.
Yeah.
And at 20, you're out.
Yeah.
And
Now,
then they go...
I do think that the best Canadian players are going to still play in the OHL just because of the culture.
Yeah.
They're going to still play for the London Knights, who we all know pay them under the
Yep.
table. So like they're still going to play. Like Patrick Kane, American born and raised, played in the OHL his whole time. He knew he was going to the show, so he was just preparing for the NHL.
Yeah.
Right. But I think that the whole rule about NCAA athletics and the OHL and opening it all up is all attributable to the growth of USA hockey just in the past 20 years.
And I cringe on that word, USA hockey.
I know. I mean, yeah, they're the big bad wolf.
Yes,
they're
there's the machine that
They're the
keep feeding
they're the
it.
bureaucratic red tape of the sport, and we hate them. But they've done a bang up job of getting better players.
The development is insane. We'll just say that the development. That's where I'm going to go, and I'm going to stop there because I don't want to get even going to other stuff. But the development of USA hockey is insane, and the development of these kids, it's just mind-numbing how much talent these kids have now compared to when you played and compared to when I played. It's insane, and the talent and the off ice and this the specialty skating and this shooting classes and defense. It's just so much, and USA hockey has really dedicated their time of talent. Skill. Yeah. But to what Greg said earlier, the IQ, it's gone.
That's where you come in.
The IQ is gone.
I do think, though, that USA Hockey has the sanctioned junior leagues, right? And that's their development, So they have their Tier 1 juniors, which is also part of the USN TDP, the National Development Team, Tier 2 juniors, Tier 3 juniors. So theoretically speaking, if I tore it up in the NA3 and got bumped up to the Lone Star Brahmas, and I tore it up there, and I got brought up to the youth show, and I tore it up there, I can get the right eyes on me because it's all affiliated, right? Which I think is really great. I think it's a great way that junior hockey opens up the door for you to kind of get noticed.
Oh, absolutely.
So
I think it's a great thing, like the talent, the skill development. Skill development is, blows everything away. But, again, hey, we want you to do a play. What? No, I'm a goal scorer. I'm not going back. I'm not back checking. It's beer league now. No.
Yeah.
I mean, like I always say, too, hockey, I love hockey. It has changed over the years. The skill level is insanely incredible right now. And but the only thing is, it is kind of boring to me. There's no really personalities. I mean, obviously the Kachuk brothers, the Wilsons, and those type of guys. But the days of Scott Stevens and Marchands, and they're very few.
I do think that there's less. I mean, in terms of Stevens, I don't think there's ever going to be that again. Just
God,
because
you
of
can't.
How,
Just game.
Exactly.
They'll be dead.
I do like it how there's starting to be some more hatred between the teams.
I love the USA versus Canada.
Yeah.
That was because it was all about Kachuk too.
Yeah.
The Kachuk brothers were like, "Let's do this," and that brought. Yeah.
I think that there was a bit of worry that the fact that all of these kids play together their whole childhood up in the USN TDP, and then they get drafted and they're playing on different teams. There's not enough hatred there.
Yeah.
I think that fear has kind of gone to the wayside now that certain teams, like you see the Battle of Alberta, that
Calgary,
so sick,
yeah,
and you see like the Preds when they play Chicago.
You're bringing the Preds up here, man. Again,
two terrible teams right
Thank
now,
you.
right?
All right.
But the
Preds are second in the division.
Yeah, we are undefeated
God,
right now. Thank you very
guys.
much. But yeah, like there's no love lost between them.
No,
and even going back to 2017, Like those people have basically, except for Forsberg and Yossi, have come and gone.
Yeah.
And there's still that kind of animosity, which is great to see for the fan aspect of the
Well,
sport.
as a fan, you kind of want that more
Yeah.
and more. Like, the Ranger Islander games. You
Yeah.
know, that was just evil.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ranger Islanders. I mean, then you Philly Islanders, Philly Rangers, that whole genre. Then you have Boston, Montreal. That's just great when they beat each other up on that. I mean, Montreal, Toronto, but they weren't in the same division over in the days. But definitely Boston, Montreal was always a good one.
I want to. We'll try to sum it up. Like, what advice do you have to people going to juniors? Maybe they don't get sidetracked and have a journey like you did, but
Yeah.
like, what would you tell people now who are thinking about trying to go to their first showcase or?
I would say.
And at what age do you go to that showcase? That's a whole nother thing.
I think that you should be going when you're 16.
Okay.
I think 16 is the good year. There's going to be kids who are going to be younger than you, but they're going to be scared shitless.
Yeah.
Like if you're 16, you've played contact for at least 2 years. You're back, you're into it. You know what's going on. I would say you just got to go.
Mm-hmm.
You got to sign up for your first one. You got to go with someone you know.
That's
And
good too.
and then you gotta-
Comfortability too.
yeah, and then you got to go.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it works. And then once you get your first one under your belt, you're like, okay, I know that I can do this. I know that I got to sit through a day's worth of meetings, but I get to skate 3 times. I get to get the right eyes in front of me, and I get to.
So you don't think it's a waste of time at all?
I do not believe it's a waste of time.
Good. Okay, perfect.
I think that there's a lot of politicking in hockey.
Yeah.
But I also think that if you want to, like, let's just say that your goal is to play NCAA D3 hockey, okay? The perfect way to do that is to go to some showcases, get on a Tier 3 team, meet the coach, play on the Tier 2 team next year, and then go play NCAA hockey. Like, that's the path that they lay out in front of you.
That is the
right?
most valuable statement so far, and I thank you for that too. And people out there, you're listening to that, and friends of ours that are in this industry so far that love the hockey and they think their kids are going somewhere. That is the best line. Say that again. Say the whole thing again. Please listen, people.
You go to you put yourself out there, you go to the showcase, you get on the Tier 3 team, you pay your dues, you meet the coach, you have a relationship, you get on the Tier 2 team by working hard, right? You're not just going to get on it. And then from there, you move on to a school that wants you and the school that's going to be best for you. The whole purpose of junior hockey is to get kids to play college. It was to get American kids to be better so we could beat Canadians originally. But now it's so we can get them into college. And the junior program was designed to make you bigger, stronger, smarter, faster, more adult by the time you get to juniors.
Perfect.
Or by the time you get to college. Sorry.
You got to make that a TikTok. That's a good one right there. We got to put that one out there. We're going to quote that.
104 minutes.
104 minutes. We like that.
Yeah.
Oh man, well I got to tell you that is awesome. There's some really really good insight that you're telling here, and again, because people in Nashville not really, in our age, our kids' age, and you always hear, oh, my kid's gonna go to the show, and I'm gonna play D3 hockey, and I gotta push him to do it. No, stop.
Yeah.
How?
There's a whole world you got to enter
Yeah.
and exit before you get there, and it's very easy to burn out. I know a guy.
yeah.
I know a guy who he went into the Air Force. He's living a great life. He's not I love him. Right. He played for the Brahmas 3 years, never made it to the NA. Went to the Western States League. Went to the GOJ League in Canada. The I don't even know what the GOJ stands for. But like the age out years older there. So he wanted to keep playing. He played another year after he aged out of American juniors. And then he was like, he never kind of made it and he just kind of puttered off. And it's like,
I'm done.
He was done.
done.
He was done playing after that. And I mean, I think if that's what you want to do, you want to play till the wheels fall off,
Go for it.
power to you.
Yeah.
If your parents are going to shell out for that, absolutely take it.
Do you feel people get burnt out more from coaches, parents, or just the grind?
The grind.
You do?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I think that there's a lot of factors that come into that more. Like let's say you have a coach that kind of buries you, right? Doesn't like you as a person. That can really impact it.
Yeah.
Say you become a suitcase, where you're shipped off to different places all the time. Like my buddy Colt, who played with me at Miami, fantastic goalie. Traded from he was at Wilkes-Barre, Scranton.
Goalies are different. Leave them alone.
Yeah, he was at Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, and then he got traded to Kenai, so he had to fly up to Alaska. And a lot of kids, they get traded to Alaska, they're like, that's pretty far away.
Well, Greg went and played in Wyoming, and like there was caribou walking by. He was like, "What am I doing?"
Not Cheyenne. This was not Jackson Hole.
No, it's not Jackson Hole.
So I think all in all that there's some demons that can pop up throughout the journey, but I mean if you have the desire, you have the drive, and you have the ability to meet good people along the way, I don't see any reason why you can't get to where you want, even if that's just ACHA club. There's no reason why you can't go to school, play hockey, and feel like you've accomplished something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, what would you tell your 16-year-old self if you didn't have the side journey with the medical stuff? Like, how do you have that work ethic? What would you do to make it in the juniors, to get up to the second tier, to get that chance?
And would you do anything different?
I, believe it or not, I don't think I would do a single thing different.
Perfect.
Even if it meant having my strokes, I still think I would have done the exact same thing I would have done now. Okay. I would have gone to every single showcase that I could have, which is what I did. I would have worked hard, and I think that work ethic is instilled in me by my parents.
That's awesome.
So like that was a big deal. Also, I was always competing with my brother, who, like I said, is a freak. Yeah. So I had to keep up with him. But yeah, I would think I would tell my 16-year-old self, even if you don't play for Brown University like you thought you were gonna, it's gonna be just fine.
That's awesome.
You just gotta stay the course. Stay the course, work hard. It's gonna be just fine.
No, it's cool. I mean, you've been all these places too. I'm sure you still have great friends in some of these places that you just, hey man, guess what? Listen to this podcast. That's what it's gonna be. You better listen to that podcast.
Yeah, I got my line mate from juniors was from New Zealand.
Oh wow.
He played on Team New Zealand. He still plays pro there for the Botany Swarm.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Such a cool accent.
Yeah. New Zealand.
That's awesome. Well, like again, you so many life lessons and life journeys that you had. And some people have them at earlier ages, and some people have. I'm going to college, and you have that college atmosphere, but you're going through juniors, and some of these kids. I mean, they're all the same. Everyone's the same. Everyone's eyes are open. Like, what am I doing? I'm sitting in a house that I have no idea who these people are. I hope they feed me.
Yeah, and the billeting is crazy too.
Just some quick billeting advice. What do you think about that?
Billeting, teams provide the families generally, right? And most of the times they vet them, right? They're fine people.
Yeah.
Some people, not that great.
We did hear a cool one last time.
The air mattress family.
Family.
My billets were actually family friends of ours who lived in Nashville before I moved to Dallas.
Cool.
So I already knew them going there, which was
how
nice.
do you vet billets nowadays?
I don't know. I guess you got to get them Safe Sport certified.
Yeah,
It's probably smart.
No Miss McGill's, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, that's a good. I've heard they're remaking that movie.
Are they really? Well, can't Patrick Swayze's dead? He can't come back.
Yeah, well,
I found it.
I'm sure they'll find a way to make it.
Billeting's crazy because I guess we got some billeting going on here in Nashville. And when I think of billeting, I guess this is antiquated. Like you're going up to Minnesota, you're going to Wisconsin, you might even go to Long Island.
Yeah.
But now people are like coming to non-traditional markets to billet.
Well, people are coming here because we have the junior Preds are in the Tier 1 league.
Yeah.
Right, which is like a good AAA league.
Yes.
So they're going to get eyes on them, and they're going to get noticed to go somewhere else from here, right? And let's say that
and the Spartans too. The Spartans. Yeah. That's another one. They're now they moved up to Clarksville. Because they're not playing out of Nolensville anymore. And but now I mean you're talking to I had a conversation with Lubos, and he was telling me he's like we moved up at Clarksville, and he's like we got season ticket holders already up there, and it's kind of cool because those guys are going up to Clarksville, and that's in a way. This might be a little hot button for me, but when you go up to Clarksville, those are the guys up there with the real original Predators fans. They were up in that area, and then what happened is the Preds got really good and they got priced out of the market. The average fan, you can't go to a Preds game anymore. It's so expensive. Let's be honest. When I first moved here, I had an all-inclusive section for $110 seats, man. I was drinking, eating like a fiend, and then you get nosebleed seats for $20.
Just some guy who bought my shirt.
Oh, there
He was
it
a
is.
fan of the Brahmas. He bought my shirt, and I got a picture with him.
Oh, that's awesome. You got to send that to him.
Yeah.
There you go. That's perfect. That is awesome.
Well, when do you start looking into billeting too? Once you get the tender, once you get signed.
Once you sign the contract and you're going.
Does the organization help you with the billeting, or you have to do it on your own?
They normally do help you with the building.
Look at that. Did you auto it? You better have auto it.
My mom got one. My mom got one.
That's funny.
Yeah, there I am.
No, I'm
double
saying
thumbs.
autograph it.
Yeah.
Did you autograph it for him?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
I didn't. I should've.
You know what? Call him up.
yeah.
Let's autograph it. Now.
I still follow him on Instagram. He's a good dude.
Is he?
He's a good
All
dude.
right.
Yeah, he's South African, actually.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Does he play hockey too?
He played roller growing up.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Very nice. Did you play any roller? Did you go up to Hendersonville up there?
No, I never played roller. I'm brutal at roller because I can't stop.
Yeah, that's what it is.
yeah.
Keep fly by.
Yeah.
Fly by.
My dad called that the Olay play. He
Yeah.
says, no more Olay plays. Olay.
Yeah, too different. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, again, I want to say thank you. This was really, really, really cool for you doing this and coming out here and telling your story. And it, honestly, it's huge, especially with some of the kids that, we know some kids here that are pretty damn good. They're 12, 13, 11-year-old kids. And a lot of times people are like, oh, I got to go up to, Boston. I got to go play, prep school up in Minnesota or Rochester. They're there. Don't get me wrong, and there's some really good hockey players up there. But you can do it here now. I mean, again, guys like you and your friends that Devin type guys, you guys have paved the way, and Nashville's kind of on the map now.
Yeah.
And especially you do have some superstars, and I don't know if you're familiar with certain Predators teams. There's some ex-NHL coaches out there, ex-NHL players, and they have some siblings that are damn good, and you really, really damn good, and they're known already, and so those guys, they already have the path, they already know. But for the average, second liner, gritty kid, the kid that doesn't really have that backing or knowledge of what's going on, our parents don't know, because a lot of these parents, they're from here too.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't know. They don't really know. They're not from the Northeast. They're not from Minnesota. They're not from Chicago, or they were never playing hockey at that level. So they don't know, but that's awesome.
Yeah, well, that's why we're doing this podcast, so you can instill them with your wisdom and values.
There you go, boys.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's just like the printout from what the NAHL and the NA3HL say about junior hockey. I didn't send that
very
to you.
long.
That's a lot. There you
I
go.
figured that was a lot of reading. We didn't need to put that up on the screen.
No, he'll put it up there.
Oh,
He's
that's
good
good.
like that.
Good
You
pamphlet.
got pictures, and I love
Little
pictures.
bit of reading
Got a
material for the
pop-up
attorney.
book too. I got some pop-up books too.
I know attorneys need to read more. So
Yeah, you
Well, now we got to move on to a
yeah.
little bit of our segment here to wrap us up. So this is the Get Off My Lawn. I don't know. And if anybody's still listening out there, make sure you like and subscribe on the YouTube.
Yeah.
It's Beer League Live. We're just getting the YouTube channel going
YouTube.
up.
Yeah, we got to get the YouTube going a little bit more. I think the Spotify is doing it. Please follow us on Spotify
Yeah,
too.
that's a
And-
good one. That's the main one. And then TikTok's just going crazy. Join the party over at Beer League Live at TikTok, because you see some stuff. Now, some of it,
Yeah.
I got a notification that some of the comments were being folded up because of the anti-bullying. Apparently, you're getting bullied on TikTok.
Am I
here,
getting
Seth.
bullied?
A little bit of bullying
Those
going
little
on.
punks. Yeah,
But I
you know
think
what? I
you-
think it's funny.
You relish that
I
shit.
do.
You
Like, give
really
it to me.
enjoy.
I feel like I'm like Avery, Sean Avery right now. Keep giving it to me, and that's how I'll take it.
he's big friends with Christopher Nolan now.
Is he really?
He was in Oppenheimer.
Oh, was he really?
Yeah.
Oh, he's a kind of an act. Yeah, okay.
So some of these takes, you got in trouble with Mahomes. A lot of
dig
people
it.
are
Yeah,
not
they
happy,
were-
but we'll see what we got
I think
here.
they really didn't like me though with the golf. That's where they.
Oh
really
yeah,
got
that
me.
one was too hot for TikTok
Yeah,
with
they
the
said-
Ryder Cup.
Absolutely.
You suck, McElroy. I thought
did.
that was great. All right, so Noah, this is you got to pick who's going to get off your lawn. This is the Get Off My Lawn Studios, right? And so the first one that we're going to ask you, we got a Predators theme. We got Brad Marchand or Dirty Tom Wilson. He just keeps coming up
He keeps
here.
coming up, don't he?
Who's worse here? Who do you hate more as a Preds fan?
I think that I hate Marchand more. I think that he is so much more of a pest, and Tom Wilson's more. I'm taking both of them in their prime. Okay, both of them in their prime. Tom Wilson's a more complete player. Not only is he a hitter and a fighter, He's a power forward who was putting up points, right? Marchand was the guy who was licking people.
Yeah.
Ugh, oh my God. Yeah. So I think that I would take Tom Wilson, even though he had a couple questionable hits, but so did Scott Stevens.
Yeah,
You know, NHL
no, he
legend.
didn't. Scott Stevens, do not talk bad about
Yeah.
Scott Stevens.
So I would take Tom Wilson in a heartbeat. Also, Selena Gomez had a crush on him apparently, and I am in love with Selena Gomez.
Are you really?
Is that legal?
She waved at me once. Fun fact.
Did she? Really?
Yep.
Did you say, oh, right.
Yeah.
Did
Yep.
your girlfriend get pissed at you?
No, well, we didn't know each other at the time.
Okay. Oh,
I was young. It was the Revival Tour, 2016. It's a great time. It's a great
You're
year.
saying Marchand, get off your lawn. What
Get
about-
off my
what
lawn,
about
Brad
you,
Marchand.
Sam?
Me. See, I'm old school. I'm really old school here. I like both the way these players play. To me, Tom Wilson is more of a throwback player because he's bigger, stronger, and meaner and nastier. Like, if I'm going to drop the gloves, I do not want to throw down with Tom Wilson. I'll crack that Marchand in his big, stupid rat nose, that's for sure. But he is the pest. He's that fly that keeps going, get out of here. But the damn guy is damn good, too. He's a penalty kill, power play. He's a rat. He's the new era of rat. Of Kenny the Rat Linsman, But if I'm going to be a guy, I'm with him too. I like Tom Wilson better than Marchand, but Marchand is a better goal scorer than him.
So dirty.
He is.
I like Marchand, but I used to hate him, but he's grown on me as a villain because, like you said, there's not enough personality in the league anymore, and I like how he's a villain that is fun to hate. Okay, next one here. We got Ryan Getzlaff. Oh boy,
You're hitting a nerve with me. You're hitting a nerve.
Oh, is he listening? Or John Gibson? John Gibson.
I hate Ryan Getzlaff for one reason and one reason only. And that's because he's friends with Corey Perry.
He was almost on there, but we were talking about him last time. I can't have
I
the
wish
same people
nothing
over
but
and over.
ill will on that man.
Yeah.
So
Corey
yeah, that's a
Perry's
pretty easy one for me.
bastard.
John Gibson, I don't. He's a goalie. A lot of respect for the attendees in the show, but yeah, I would say Ryan Getzlaff, get the off my lawn.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now. Listen, I respect the goalie thing. I'm with you on the goalie thing. I can never throw Ryan off my lawn. Ryan is a great dude. I coached his son in baseball.
I'm sure he's a fantastic human being.
I could never, ever, and I'd still love to get him on the show.
we
I
need
still
to get
ain't
him on
talking
here and
about
find
it.
out.
Show him that clip of me
Oh,
saying
yeah.
that. And I'm like, oh, I'm so
I'm like,
sorry,
Ron-
Mr. Getzlaff.
Ryan, we got to talk, buddy. He's a great guy. He's salt of the earth, and And it was even funny one time I was coaching this kid, and this is we're in playoffs. And NHL was in the playoffs, and I went up to him. I said, "Hey, Ryan, you got what's his name? Austin Matthews' number and Nylander's number on your phone?" He goes, "Why?" I go, "Tell him the playoffs already started already." He's like, "Dude, that's funny." But yeah, no, he's a great guy. Had a couple pops with him. We sat down. I could never ever throw him off the lawn. He's just he's salt of the earth. The guy, to me, that's a power forward and the best line ever. And I asked him one time, there's a video of him TikToking, and he knew he was done. He was retiring then. When you had it wasn't Sonny Milano, but
I know
it was
what you're gonna say.
it was what was the other guy?
Trevor Zegras?
Zegras and some other guy, and they're hitting each other in the nads. And you see his face. He's just like, I'm so disgusted. And I asked him, I said, "Is that real?" He goes, "You're damn right." He goes, quote unquote, looks me in the face and goes, "They both know how I feel about them." And I go, "That is awesome."
Yeah, I guarantee you, if I met the guy, I would be like so much respect for him.
Dude,
But
he's so cool.
he's
so cool.
It's the connection to Corey Perry that still just makes my skin crawl.
And his kid is outstanding. Just such a leader kid too. Great baseball player. And it was great because Ryan would sit out in the outfield and just sit out there, and I'm like, I get it. I get what you're doing. He's like, yeah, dude.
So it's unanimous. John Gibson.
Gone.
The question is
No, I could get him out. I
who
could
was
Gibson
worse
off.
for the Preds, right? Yeah. So this question is, who's more responsible for the wasted golden era of the Preds? And that's going to be David Poile or Peter Laviolette. And they say that Poile built the roster, then dismantled it piece by piece. Laviolette coached them to the final and then lost the locker room. So who's more to blame, Poile or Laviolette?
I would blame Laviolette for the recent woes. However, I think that you got to take David Poile's tenure in his entirety and say, it's the same thing that Trotz had to deal with when the Preds were just getting out, is that they couldn't play to win. They had to play not to lose, because that's how you keep the fans. That's how you keep the team in Nashville. They had to do that for the better part of a decade and a half, right? So David Poile, I think, stays. I think Laviolette squandered a really good hockey team after that first year. So I would say, get off my lawn. Mr. Laviolette played against his son at Florida Gulf Coast.
Did you really? Okay. I, on that one here, you know, it's crazy. I get it. Laviolette is a coach that wears his, his spiel goes only so far. How much more time can you beat that dead horse? How much more can you bleed that rock? Laviolette, yes, he bled the rock. He's at that. He's almost like the Mike Keenan type coach. You only have a shelf life of 3 years, and that's it. Because then after that, you're not paying attention to him anymore. David Poile, again, you nailed it. What he did, what he put together. Barry Trotz, he put a talent, not a talented team, a talentless team. He put third liners out there and won games. So to me, Trotz will always be the king on what he did for all those years. David Poile, he's the guy's got to stay, but he was the one who traded my favorite player for PK Subban.
He had a lot of whiffs in the end,
God.
but at the same time, if you think about what was available to him with what he kind of had to do from like the pushing of the media and the pushing of the fans, he had to take a swing.
Yeah, he had to do. You could not. You're there. Take that extra step.
Correct.
You have to give to get.
Yeah,
and he did give.
Yeah,
but he got to that point. And I just think that was a big push, but you're right.
Yeah.
Laviolette, get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got rid of him twice.
I did.
All right. Next we got, oh man, this is a tough one. Matt Duchene or Kyle Turris. Kyle Turris, who is the...
No brainer. No brainer. Kyle Turris, get the hell off my lawn. That's the guy. The guy didn't even want to be in Nashville.
No,
right?
Matt Duchene wants to be in Nashville.
He really wants to be in
So
Nashville.
the difference is Kyle Turris didn't want to be in Nashville. Matt Duchene wanted to be a Nashvillian.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And there you have it.
Well, and look at Duchene doing now in Dallas,
Yeah.
man. He's like ripping it up. He's a hell of a player. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Kyle Turris was really not a good player.
I agree.
I think we're almost done paying Kyle Turris. I think we got one more season at $2 million. I don't even want to know what we're paying Duchene. Probably $5 million a season for another couple seasons.
If a team pays me not to play for them, that's going to let a fire under anybody's ass.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of getting paid to be fired here, we got to do it. I mean, today's the day. Brian Callahan on the Lightning rant. I mean, this guy was a disaster from the start, and it's hard to know where to begin with the Titans. What the problem is, the fish, right?
Yeah,
it's
fish
the
stinks
fish
from the head down,
it's a
boys.
stinky head.
Yep.
It's really, really rancid. So I don't know that this will make any difference. I think it's needed to be done. He's 4-17. Just a terrible record. It was a disaster. But the thing about the Titans is it's like Game of Thrones in that front office. It's just who's to blame, and they're all just trying to get one more season, whether it's the GM firing him or who hired the coach, or now we got the quarter. It's just it's ridiculous. It's getting really hard. It's getting hard to be a Titans fan, And I was here from the beginning, like you were here at the very beginning too.
And this is Kevin Dyson's
This is the
ex-house,
house
So
that
if you
Dyson
have
built.
this is the house that Dyson built. We should change the name of this place. No, it's still Get Off My Lawn Studios, but it's the house that Dyson
You
built.
have a little colon there and say the house that Dyson.
But you do know, so if you go to reach for your beer, right, to go get a beer, and you just like you're a yard short, that's why, because it's Dyson's house. It's you're like, oh damn it, I missed because you're a yard short. You go to open the door, you miss for an uh-oh. Shoot,
Are you ready?
Shoot. I was gonna go back. Pause this. I'm gonna go back a little bit with Callahan. All right, we're doing my rant. Screw it then. All right, my rant here. This is my rant part of the time here. My rant this year, what gets me pissed off, is fantasy football and football experts. These football experts. Oh, you gotta go on the waiver wire and get. Who the hell are these goofballs? Mike Fabiano, Marcus Grant, Adam Rank. these guys on ESPN, who the hell are these guys? They've never played the sport in their life, but they have an opinion. For God's sakes, they're like weathermen. It was like you could be wrong 50% of the time and still get a damn job. You know, come on. Oh, it's all about the matchups. You got to get to the waiver wire.
The game script. You got to know the game script.
It's stupid. It's stupid. You know, because they get some clown they put up there and they go, you have to pick him up. The Captain Obvious, like, oh wait, Bucky Irvin's hurt from the Bucks. Well, you better get on the waiver wire and get the backup. No, duh, stupid. Come on, for Christ's sake. You got to pick up you know. They all want to be Matthew Berry. Matthew Berry was like, he's the OG of this stuff. He's the guy that started this whole thing. You know, stop. These other clowns, they're just clowns. You know, Mike Fabiano, the guy looks like a little pig face. You know, like, you got to go ahead and do this. Who's this guy telling me I got to do it? But yet I'm the moron on Sunday morning going, who do I got to pick up? The only one I really like is that Cynthia Freeland. She's so pretty. I like it. When she says something, I listen to it. But everyone else, they can go, get the hell out of here. Sorry, that's the way I feel. That stupid fantasy football.
Does this have anything to do with the performance of your fantasy football team?
You know what?
I mean, it feels like maybe you have an axe to grind here.
Hit that damn thing again. Let's hit the song again, because you know why? These guys are the ones that made me pick a second tight end in the 7th round.
Well,
who does that? Because Mike Fabiano says he's a high pick. That's why. You know, you're damn right. See, we got this pick. We're playing fantasy football.
True. They
took a damn tight end in the 2nd round, and then took another damn tight end for me on the 7th round. You know what?
That's a twin tight end.
They should call my team Tight Ends McGee. That's what we're gonna call it, because that's what they did.
It was the ADP.
Yeah, because of Fabiano, Grand Rank. They said, "Oh, these guys are the best."
But wait a minute. This guy right here, he's number 1 in the work
I'm about to
league
lose
right
this
now.
week. I'm about to lose this week.
You know what? Did you end up picking? You picked yourself, right? Yeah, I didn't. They let pick for me, and I got 2 damn tight ends in the top 7 rounds. That's super.
I picked one of our associates, Sam, helped me out a lot.
That's your guru. Yeah.
But that being said, I'm a pretty mid fantasy player in all sports.
Well, what's your team name?
Will Levis Cologne.
Will Levis Cologne. That is pretty good.
My fantasy hockey team is Don't Tase Me, bro.
Don't tase me. I love it. I love it. All right, well, that's my get off my lawn rant. These stupid fantasy, and I will not play next year. Remember that. I will not play fantasy.
Actually, we're having relegation, and it looks like you're on the path to getting relegated to the B League.
I'm quitting.
Your favorite league, the B League.
I'm quitting before you can put me anywhere. I'm done with this garbage.
The relegation chair.
Stupid fantasy football and fantasy experts, and I got to watch this garbage. And let me enjoy watching football at my own. You end up rooting against your favorite damn team. You're like, just score a touchdown. But as long as we're winning, hate it.
It's true.
Yeah, I hate it.
It's
stupid.
It's a conflict.
Yeah, conflict. That's why I end up picking all Bucks. I'm a Bucks fan.
Yep.
Baker Mayfield,
We like
baby.
to end on football.
All right, guys. I want to say thank you so much, Noah, man. I appreciate it, man.
Thanks
this
for
is
having
good.
me.
Oh, dude, this is good. Am I going to rant again? You want me to rant again? I'll rant again.
We're going to have a rave, Seth
rave,
rave. So one of these times, I want you to think about something that you like.
No,
Tell us,
impossible.
Tell us why it's good.
I did wake up very angry this morning. I don't know why, how. I think everything it started getting to me, and I was just mad all day. But now you made me happy. You got it out. I did go to therapy today. I really did. I did go to therapy, and now I got more therapy. So thank you, guys. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you coming by, Noah. That was a very good journey, very good story that you told us, and some good insight.
It's great,
very
man.
much.
Thank you,
Appreciate
man. And again, like Greg said earlier, hey, follow us on Spotify, follow us on YouTube, follow us on TikTok, Beer League Live, Beer League at Beer League on Spotify, and everything else is at Beer League Live. And again, thank you so much for coming here from the Get Off My Lawn Studios. Here's Beer League. Check out, guys. Thank you very much. Peace.